Chapter 1145. Under Mo Qingyun's gaze, he had to admit that Wang Yuesher's temperament and figure were not bad. Wang Yuesher instinctively took a step back when she saw Mo Qingyun's gaze. She crossed her arms in front of her chest and looked at Mo Qingyun warily. Mo Qingyun instinctively laughed when he saw Wang Yuesher's action. He waved his hand at Wang Yuesher again and said, "Don't stand here. Otherwise, I won't be responsible if I eat you up later." Wang Yuesher's face immediately turned red when she heard Mo Qingyun say that again. She still did not dare to leave the backyard immediately. This was because she was not sure if Mo Qingyun was serious when he said he would release Wang Yuesher or not. Wang Yuesher looked aggrieved when she was indecisive and anxious. A faint glow appeared at the corner of her eyes. She had clearly agreed to Chang Wei's request, but Chang Wei was playing tricks again. He deliberately humiliated and took liberties with her. Chang Wei was really infuriating. More importantly, she could not do anything to Chang Wei. Her brother's life was still in his hands. Mo Qingyun could not help but feel a little agitated when he saw Wang Yuesher's reddened eyes. What was she trying to do? Was it so difficult for him to be a good person? Sigh. Mo Qingyun sighed with a helpless expression. He spread his hands at Wang Yuesher and said, "Don't cry. I'll ask someone to release your brother. Will that do?" Mo Qingyun did not wait for Wang Yuesher to respond. He shouted to the middle-aged man outside the courtyard, "Steward Huang, pass on my order now. Ask them to release Wang Wenquan." "Young Master Chang Wei, are you really going to release Wang Wenquan?" The middle-aged man, who was an 8-seal talisman Supremacy, asked with a surprised expression when he heard Mo Qingyun's order. In his opinion, Chang Wei should not release Wang Wenquan before he took Wang Yuesher down. "That's right." In response to Steward Huang's surprised reaction, Mo Qingyun nodded with a serious expression. Seeing this, Steward Huang did not dare to delay any longer and immediately went to pass on Mo Qingyun's instructions. When Steward Huang walked out of the backyard, Mo Qingyun turned to look at Wang Yuesher and said in a deep voice, "Now, do you believe that I'm going to let your brother go?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Wang Yuesher couldn't help but feel confused. She couldn't believe that this was true. Was this still Tsun Takashi? Wasn't Tsun Takashi capturing her brother and putting him in jail to force her to give herself up? Now that she had agreed to give herself to him, not only did Tsun Takashi not do anything to her, he even decided to let her brother go. This was too abnormal. What happened? At this moment, Wang Yuesher's mind was in a complete mess. She simply could not understand why. After pondering for a while, Wang Yuesher still couldn't believe Mo Qingyun. She felt that Mo Qingyun must have a conspiracy behind his actions. Therefore, even though she saw that Mo Qingyun was going to let her brother go, she still refused to leave. Seeing that Wang Yuesher still refused to leave, Mo Qingyun sighed and shook his head. He ignored her and turned to walk to Tsun Takashi's room. "Tsun Takashi, stop right there." Seeing that Mo Qingyun was about to leave, Wang Yuesher immediately panicked. She was even more certain that Mo Qingyun's actions were a trap. Hearing Wang Yuesher's words, Mo Qingyun stopped in his tracks and turned to look at Wang Yuesher. He asked, "Is there anything else?" Facing Mo Qingyun's gaze, Wang Yuesher felt guilty. She stammered for a moment before saying, "Before I see my brother, you can't leave this place." At this moment, Wang Yuesher's tone was no longer cold and unyielding like before. She sounded like a spoiled little girl. Mo Qingyun felt helpless about Wang Yuesher's actions. This girl was actually starting to pester him endlessly. Steward Huang was a thorough person. After releasing Wang Wenquan, he actually brought him to Mo Qingyun. "Brother." Seeing that Wang Wenquan had arrived at the backyard, Wang Yuesher was immediately overjoyed. She quickly walked toward Wang Wenquan. Seeing that Wang Yuesher was running toward Wang Wenquan, Mo Qingyun's expression relaxed. He sighed inwardly that the matter was finally resolved. "Yuesher, did he do something to you?" Seeing that Mo Qingyun had let him go, Wang Wenquan instinctively revealed a look of hatred. He glared at Mo Qingyun and asked Wang Yuesher, "No, Wang Yuesher shook her head with a confused and puzzled expression. She couldn't understand why Mo Qingyun would do such a thing. Glancing at Wang Yuesher and Wang Wenquan, Mo Qingyun revealed an impatient expression. He waved his hand at Wang Yuesher and Wang Wenquan and said, "All right, your brother has already appeared in front of you. You can leave now. You can leave now." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Wang Yuesher was instantly enraged. She glared at Mo Qingyun with hidden bitterness. Was she so detestable now? Wasn't Sun Takashi sticky candy when he saw her previously? Why was Sun Takashi so impatient after not seeing her for a few days? He couldn't wait to chase her away. Could it be that she was no longer attractive to Sun Takashi? Women were sometimes like this. When you put your face on her, she would think that you had ulterior motives. However, when you ignored her, she would complain that you didn't have good taste. Her thoughts were truly unpredictable. Seeing that Wang Yuesher and Wang Wenquan still refused to leave, Mo Qingyun pretended to be displeased. His face darkened as he said angrily, "What? Do you really want me to kill your big brother and then give you a good beating before you are willing to leave?" "You!" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Wang Yuesher was instantly enraged. She gently bit her white teeth. "Sister, let's go. There's nothing to say to this kind of person." Hearing Mo Qingyun's filthy words, Wang Wenquan was instantly enraged. He pulled Wang Yuesher and walked out of the backyard. Under Wang Wenquan's tug, Wang Yuesher took light steps and slowly walked out of the backyard. "Young Master Sun Takashi, are we really going to let them go just like that?" Seeing Wang Yuesher and Wang Wenquan leave, Steward Huang asked Mo Qingyun with a puzzled expression. When Steward Huang spoke, Wang Yuesher, who had walked to the backyard's door, stopped and looked at Mo Qingyun. She said, "Sun Takashi, at least you have some conscience." After Wang Yuesher finished speaking, her pretty face turned red. She immediately turned and walked out of the backyard. "Sun Takashi, at least you have some conscience. Is this considered a compliment?" Hearing Wang Yuesher's words, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but smile bitterly. He turned around and walked into Sun Takashi's room. He didn't want to think about Wang Yuesher anymore. "Young Master Sun Takashi, you are indeed skillful." Seeing Mo Qingyun's back as he walked away, Steward Huang's expression suddenly changed. He said with admiration, "Miss Wang Yuesher's attitude towards young Master Sun Takashi has obviously changed greatly. Young Master Sun Takashi's move of retreating in order to advance is really ingenious." Chapter 1146. When he arrived at Chong Wei's room, Mo Qingyun did not waste any more time and entered the Five-Direction Pagoda in a flash. After entering the Five-Direction Pagoda, Mo Qingyun took out the broken divine bow and began to study it carefully. I wonder what is the origin of this broken divine bow. After taking out the broken divine bow, Mo Qingyun unleashed his soul power and began to investigate the broken divine bow. After a round of investigation, it was just as the auctioneer of the Symbol Ancestor Pavilion had said. The broken divine bow was extremely ordinary, and there was no spiritual energy fluctuation at all. After obtaining such a result, Mo Qingyun did not believe in heresy. He cut his finger and dripped a drop of blood onto the divine bow. Buzz! As soon as Mo Qingyun's blood dripped onto the divine bow flashed with a golden light and let out a low, trembling sound. At the same time, an obscure and powerful aura flashed across the divine bow. There's a reaction. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun's face lit up with joy and excitement. Seeing such a reaction from the divine bow, Mo Qingyun was certain that the divine bow's origin was definitely not ordinary. Then, Mo Qingyun did not think too much about it. He cut his finger again and continued to drip his blood onto the divine bow. As Mo Qingyun's blood was continuously absorbed by the divine bow, the aura emitted from the divine bow became stronger and stronger. "It's so comfortable. I did not expect to drink the blood of the absolute beginning after 1,000,000 years." After an unknown period of time, an excited voice came from the divine bow. It seemed to be enjoying the taste of Mo Qingyun's blood. When Mo Qingyun heard this, his expression immediately froze, and he looked at the divine Bao in front of him with a tense expression. The divine Bao's artifact spirit was still alive. Crack, crack, crack. When Mo Qingyun was looking at the divine Bao, the rust on the divine Bao began to crack and fall off rapidly. Soon, a purple ancient longbow appeared in front of Mo Qingyun. God Shooter Bao. As the rust on the divine Bao fell off, the ancient words on the divine Bao entered Mo Qingyun's line of sight. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun could not help but be overjoyed. He was even more certain that the divine Bao was extraordinary. Little guy, although you let me taste the absolute beginning's blood of creation, you're still not qualified for me to recognize you as my master. When Mo Qingyun was looking at Mo Qingyun's God Shooter Bao, the divine Bao's voice once again, how about this? To thank you for letting me taste the blood of absolute blood of creation, I will help you resolve 3 dangers when you're in danger. After the God Shooter Bao finished speaking, the light on its body slowly receded and it returned to the appearance of an ordinary longbow. There were no longer any fluctuations of spiritual energy. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun revealed a curious expression and hurriedly asked the God Shooter Bao, Senior, may I know the origin of this God Shooter Bao? What grade of divine artifact is it? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the divine Bao glowed faintly and replied to Mo Qingyun, Little guy, with your current cultivation, you are not qualified to ask about the divine Bao. How about this? When your cultivation reaches the golden immortal realm, I will tell you about it. Golden immortal realm? What kind of realm is that? Mo Qingyun frowned slightly when he heard that. He was looking forward to the golden immortal stage that the God Shooter Bao mentioned. Mo Qingyun did not know what kind of existence a golden immortal was, but it was definitely an extremely powerful immortal. Mo Qingyun clenched his fists and secretly swore in his heart, Mo Qingyun, will definitely reach the immortal realm in this lifetime. Mo Qingyun silently swore in his heart. He began to study the divine Bao again, but it was to no avail. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun revealed a helpless expression and could only put away the God Shooter Bao. After putting away the God Shooter Bao, Mo Qingyun no longer stayed in the 5-directional pagoda and returned to his room. After exiting the 5-directional towers, Mo Qingyun opened the door and walked out of Sun Takashi's room. His main purpose in coming to the Tao Talisman sect was to rescue He Zhilan. Naturally, he could not waste too much time. After leaving Chang Wei's room, Mo Qingyun found Steward Huang and asked, Steward Huang, have you heard of a female disciple called He Zhilan? He Zhilan? Steward Huang pondered as he tried to recall the information about He Zhilan. Very quickly, Housekeeper Huang's eyes brightened as he revealed an expression of understanding. He said to Mo Qingyun, Young master, the Miss He Zhilan that you mentioned should be the one that young master Li Liangchen has taken fancy to, right? As Steward Huang spoke, he thought to himself, so young Master Chang Wei has his eyes on He Zhilan. No wonder he was not interested in Wang Yueshur. That's right. Seeing that Steward Huang had guessed He Zhilan's identity, Mo Qingyun did not hide it and nodded in affirmation. Seeing Mo Qingyun's reaction, Steward Huang's expression turned grave as he said, Young Master Chang Wei, it's not that I want to be a busybody, but I advise you to stay away from He Zhilan. Why? Mo Qingyun was puzzled. Seeing the puzzled expression on Mo Qingyun's face, Steward Huang's expression became even more serious as he whispered, Because of the death of the young sect master, the sect master's hatred towards He Zhilan has reached the extreme. In order to take revenge on He Zhilan for causing the death of the young sect master, the sect master has already given the order to choose a date to marry He Zhilan. He wants He Zhilan to become a tool for him to vent his lust from now on. He wants He Zhilan to live in eternal torture. What? Li Lulin wants to marry He Zhilan? Hearing Steward Huang's words, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He was surprised by this news. He really did not expect that Li Lulin would use such a vicious method to take revenge on He Zhilan. Thinking that Li Lulin wanted to turn He Zhilan into a tool to vent his lust, Mo Qingyun's expression turned cold as his body emitted a strong killing intent. Sensing Mo Qingyun's killing intent, Steward Huang could not help but shiver. He hurriedly advised Mo Qingyun, "Young Master Changwei, she's just an ordinary woman. You must not do anything rash because of her. I feel that Miss Wang Yuesher is more outstanding than He Zhilan. And I understand." Hearing Steward Huang's explanation, Mo Qingyun's expression calmed down. He nodded and asked, "Tell me, where is He Zhilan being held? I'm very curious. Just what kind of woman is she to be able to cause the Order Master and young Order Master to take an interest in her?" Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Steward Huang's expression relaxed as he told Mo Qingyun where He Zhilan was locked up. At the same time, Steward Huang sighed in his heart. This He Zhilan was really a femme fatale. It was not enough that she had already killed Li Liangchun and Mo Qing. Now, even Changwei was involved. Liangchun Manor? After knowing where He Zhilan was locked up, Mo Qingyun did not want to delay any longer. He immediately got up and headed towards Liangchun Manor. Liangchun Manor was not far from Changwei's residence. Mo Qingyun only walked for a moment before he arrived at the door of Liangchun Manor. "It's here." Chapter 1147. After Mo Qingyun left Sun Takashi's residence, the guard showed curious expressions and surrounded Steward Huang. "Brother Huang, I heard that Miss Wang Yuesher came to his door and young Master Changwei didn't take her down. Is that true? Also, the people outside are saying that young Master Changwei's lower body seems to have a problem. Brother Huang, you're the closest person to young Master Changwei. You should know very well, right?" The guards came to Steward Huang's side with curious gazes, waiting for Steward Huang to clear their doubts. "Shut up. If you don't want to die, don't talk about young Master Changwei in the future." Hearing the guards' questions, Steward Huang pretended to be displeased and reprimanded them sternly. He continued, "Young Master Changwei's private matters aren't something you can easily speculate about." Yes. Brother Huang, you're right. We were rude just now. Brother Huang, you have great foresight. Why don't you tell us about it?" "That's right. Brother Huang, we've followed you for many years. Why don't you satisfy our curiosity?" Looking at the displeased Steward Huang, the guards took out some items and secretly stuffed them into Steward Huang's hands. "Since that's the case, I'll satisfy your curiosity." Seeing the guards' actions, Steward Huang showed a satisfied expression and said with a faint smile, "Do you think that young Master Changwei's foresight is as short-sighted as yours?" The reason why young Master Changwei didn't take Wang Yuesher was because he wanted her to come to his door willingly. Come to his door willingly? Didn't Miss Wang Yuesher come to his residence today to offer her body willingly? That's right. Didn't Wang Yuesher come to his door willingly today? Why did young Master Changwei let her go? So troublesome. Isn't it the same thing after all? Why waste so much effort? After hearing Steward Huang's words, the guards were puzzled. They didn't understand what Steward Huang meant. This is why all of you are guards and why Master Tsun Takashi is a hero. Seeing the reaction of the guards, Steward Huang revealed a profound expression. He kept them in suspense and said, "Think about it. Is it more comfortable for a little beauty to lie on the bed like a mummy? Or is it more comfortable for her to work with you? Of course, it's because she's more comfortable cooperating with me." Hearing Steward Huang's question, the guards did not even think about it and answered without hesitation. "Oh, so that's how it is. Young Master Chang Wei wants to capture Wang Yuesher's heart," and then, as soon as the guards said that, they were enlightened. They understood the meaning of Steward Huang's words and sighed. Young Master Chang Wei is indeed young Master Chang Wei. His considerations are much more long-term than ours. After that, everyone revealed looks of admiration and continued to talk about Mo Qingyun. At the Liangchun Mansion, sky-covering, sun-severing, immortal formation. Standing in front of the Liangchun Mansion, Mo Qingyun frowned. He was surprised that the Liangchun Mansion had such a formation. The sky-covering, sun-severing, immortal formation was a very peculiar formation. Under its isolation, Even the soul power of an immortal would not be able to sense the situation inside the formation. Seeing the sky-covering, sun-severing immortal formation in the Liangshan mansion, Mo Qingyun frowned and thought to himself, with the sky-covering, sun-severing immortal formation here, it's not advisable to rashly enter the Liangshan mansion. Let's see if I can enter using Chang Wei's identity. As soon as this thought appeared in Mo Qingyun's mind, he did not want to waste any more time and immediately walked towards the entrance of the Liangshan mansion. Junior brother, please wait. No one is allowed to enter the Liangshan mansion without the sect master's instructions. Junior brother, please return. When Mo Qingyun approached the entrance of the Liangshan mansion, two disciples of the Tao Talisman sect, standing guard in front of the mansion, blocked Mo Qingyun with cold expressions. As the two of them spoke, their bodies emitted a sharp aura. They were both talisman venerables at the peak of the Eight Seal realm. Seeing their actions, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly and said, Senior brothers, Junior brotherly Liangshan and I are as close as brothers. I would like to enter the mansion to pay my respects to him. I hope that the two of you can make an exception. Junior brother Chang Wei, this is an order from the sect master himself. I hope that you will not make things difficult for the two of us. After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, the two disciples revealed an awkward expression and explained to Mo Qingyun. Then, they said, if Junior brother Chang Wei really wants to pay his respects to Junior brother Liangshan, please ask for the sect master's instructions. At that time, the two of us will let you in. Thank you for the reminder, Senior brother. I will go now. After hearing their words, Mo Qingyun bowed and left the Liangshan mansion. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had left the Liangshan mansion, the two disciples no longer paid any attention to Mo Qingyun and continued to guard the entrance of the Liangshan mansion. Li Lulin's guard of senior sister Zhilan is really tight. He actually sent two Eight Seal realm experts. After walking to the side of the Liangshan mansion, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and his body gradually faded. He smiled faintly and said, Since I can't use Chang Wei's identity to enter, I can only use the hidden door to enter. Just two Eight Seal talisman venerables can't stop me. After using the hidden door to hide his figure, Mo Qingyun once again walked towards the Liangshan mansion. The teleportation gate. Once again arriving at the entrance of the Liangshan mansion, Mo Qingyun directly used the teleportation gate to pass through the sky and sun immortal severing formation. After passing through the sky and sun immortal severing formation and entering the interior of the Liangshan mansion, Mo Qingyun clearly saw the scene inside the Liangshan mansion. After glancing at the interior of the Liangshan mansion, Mo Qingyun released his soul power to search for Hejilan's whereabouts in the Liangshan mansion. After searching for a while, Mo Qingyun revealed a surprised expression and secretly said, Senior sister Zhilan, she's not in the Liangshan mansion? Could it be that Li Lulin has imprisoned her somewhere else? Senior sister Zhilan is not in the Liangshan mansion. It will be troublesome to find her in the Tao Talisman sect. Seeing that Zhilan was not in the Liangshan mansion, Mo Qingyun pursed his lips and gently gritted his teeth. It seems that it will take some effort to find senior sister Zhilan. Seeing that Zhilan was not in the Liangshan mansion, Mo Qingyun left the Liangshan mansion and turned to return to Chang Wei's residence. After a while, when Mo Qingyun arrived at Chang Wei's residence, their entrance was full of onlookers. Seeing this, Mo Qingyun frowned slightly and quickly walked into the mansion. Young Master Chang Wei, you're back. Seeing that Mo Qingyun had returned to the mansion, Steward Huang and the others immediately showed joy and quickly surrounded Mo Qingyun. What happened? Seeing that Steward Huang had walked in front of him, Mo Qingyun showed an unhappy expression and asked Steward Huang and the others. Although he was not the real Chang Wei, he could not tolerate someone coming to his mansion to cause trouble. Chapter 1148. Chang Wei, you're finally back. Just as Mo Qingyun finished his sentence, a cold voice came from the crowd in front of him. Following that, Mo Qing saw a tall and burly young man walk up to him with an air of arrogance. He had some impression of this young man. His name was Xia Yi, and he was also a genius disciple of Tao Talisman sect. He was slightly more senior than Chang Wei. Xia Yi, if you don't want to die, take your men and get out of my residence immediately. Mo Qingyun glanced at Xia Yi, and his expression turned cold. A murderous aura exuded from his body. Under the erosion of Mo Qingyun's killing intent, other than Xia Yi, everyone else trembled. Their expressions were filled with intense fear. I didn't expect you to have improved so much in just a short time. Sensing Mo Qingyun's murderous aura, Xia Yi was bewildered. He was a little surprised by Mo Qingyun's murderous aura. Of course, with Xia Yi's intermediate ninth seal cultivation, he was only a little surprised by Mo Qingyun's murderous aura. After a short moment of surprise, Xia Yi's expression darkened. He pointed at Mo Qingyun and said, Chang Wei, I heard that you've been harassing Wang Yuesher while I was in seclusion. Don't you know that Wang Yuesher is the woman that I, Xia Yi, have appointed? So it's because of Wang Yuesher. Hearing Xia Yi's words, Mo Qingyun understood Xia Yi's intention and asked nonchalantly, So what? If you're not happy, feel free to fight me. You're really arrogant. It seems like you've improved recently. Seeing Mo Qingyun's attitude, Xia Yi's expression darkened. He said coldly, Chang Wei, don't say that I didn't give face to Ancestor Yu Hai and the sect leader. If you admit that your lower body is crippled now, I won't hold it against you. It had to be said that Xia Yi's request was a little too much. If Mo Qingyun admitted to it, he wouldn't be able to stay in the Dao Talisman sect anymore. However, if Mo Qingyun refused to admit it, he would have to fight Xia Yi. From Xia Yi's point of view, Mo Qingyun's apparent late-stage 8th seal cultivation level would only result in Mo Qingyun's defeat. After all, Xia Yi wasn't an ordinary person. He was also a genius disciple of the Dao Talisman sect and had the strength to fight those above his level. Therefore, Xia Yi's true strength could not be determined based on his superficial cultivation. At this moment, everyone was looking at Mo Qingyun, waiting for Mo Qingyun's response. Mo Qingyun glanced at Xia Yi with disdain and impatience. He raised his head and said arrogantly, Cut the crap. Just tell me the time and place. When the time comes, I'll fight you to the death. If you don't dare, then get lost. When the time comes, I'll fight you to the death. If you don't dare, then get lost. As soon as Mo Qingyun said that, everyone was stunned and stared at Mo Qingyun with their eyes wide open. Chang Wei was too domineering and overbearing. It seems that young Master Chang Wei cares a lot about Wang Yuesher. Seeing Mo Qingyun's reaction, Steward Huang smiled faintly and came to a conclusion. In his opinion, if Mo Qingyun didn't care about Wang Yuesher, he wouldn't have chosen to fight Xia Yi to the death. Of course, Steward Huang wasn't worried about Mo Qingyun's life. Given Chang Wei's status in the Dao Talisman sect, even if he fought Xia Yi to the death, Xia Yi wouldn't have the guts to kill Chang Wei. Although Xia Yi was a genius in the Dao Talisman sect, his background was far inferior to Chang Wei's. He was only a personal disciple of a Grand Elder. If he dared to kill Tsun Takashi, not only would he be dead for sure, even his master would not have an easy time. All right, I'll wait for you at the blood battle arena in the sect tomorrow. Seeing Mo Qingyun's reaction, Xia Yi didn't want to stay any longer. He left with his followers after saying that with a gloomy expression. He came to challenge Mo Qingyun today, to teach Mo Qingyun a lesson so that Mo Qingyun would back off. However, he didn't expect Mo Qingyun to be so ruthless and cut off his path of retreat. If he didn't accept the fight, it would mean that he was a coward and he wouldn't be able to stay in the Dao Talisman sect anymore. He had no choice. With his mid-stage 9-yin cultivation, he would be a coward if he was frightened by someone in the late-stage 8 seal realm. Young Master Chang Wei, do you really want to fight Xia Yi to the death? After Xia Yi and his followers left, Steward Huang asked Mo Qingyun with a solemn expression. Although he knew that Xia Yi wouldn't dare to kill Chang Wei, Mo Qingyun would be at a disadvantage if he fought Xia Yi with his late-stage 8 seal realm cultivation. It's too late to back out now. Mo Qingyun smiled faintly at Steward Huang's concern. He didn't take it to heart at all. After replying to Steward Huang, Emo Qingyan didn't think too much about it and walked directly to Chang Wei's room. What he was most concerned about now was where He Zhilan was imprisoned and how to get her out. As long as he found He Zhilan, he could even kill the patriarch of the Tao Talisman sect domineeringly, let alone Xia Yi. At the moment when Mo Qingyun was pondering where He Zhilan would be imprisoned, news of his fight with Xia Yi to the death spread in the Tao Talisman sect. What? Chang Wei wants to fight Xia Yi to the death. Is Tsun Takashi crazy? It's said that Chang Wei obtained an ancient immortal bow from the auction at the Talisman Ancestor Pavilion. It seems like the news is true. If that's the case, Chang Wei has something to rely on in his battle with Xia Yi. I don't think so. I think Chang Wei is puffing himself up at his own cost. That's possible. With Chang Wei's status in the Tao Talisman sect, Xia Yi wouldn't dare to kill him. Chang Wei is fearless. For a while, everyone had different opinions when they heard about the battle between Mo Qingyun and Xia Yi. When everyone received the news, Wang Wenquan and Wang Yuesher also received the news. Both of them revealed shocked expressions. Chang Wei is really fearless. I can't believe he wants to fight senior brother Xia Yi. I want to see how he dies tomorrow. Wang Wenquan sneered when he heard that Mo Qingyun wanted to fight Xia Yi. It was as if he could see Mo Qingyun being killed. Compared to Wang Wenquan's joy, Wang Yuesher was worried. She frowned and said, Chang Wei doesn't care about me at all. Why would he fight Xia Yi to the death for me? What exactly is he thinking? Wang Yuesher was puzzled again. She didn't know what Mo Qingyun wanted to do. Wang Yuesher suddenly realized that Chang Wei felt very strange to her. It was as if he had become a different person. Wang Yuesher revealed a worried expression after thinking hard to no avail. She was a little vexed as she said, Chang Wei, that idiot. How can he be a match for Xia Yi with his advanced 8th seal cultivation? Is he tired of living? The rest of the time passed quietly as everyone waited. Chapter 1149. Ancestor. Today is the day of a duel between Chang Wei and Xia Yi. Would you like to take a look? Tao Talisman Sect. Inside a secluded secret cultivation residence, a young man with a violet gold crown on his head and a dragon blood jade hanging from his waist was asking for instructions from an old man before him. The old man was Chang Yuhai, one of the ancestors of the Tao Talisman Sect. Xia Yi's cultivation has reached the intermediate 9th seal, right? Chang Yuhai opened his eyes slowly when he heard the young man's words. A sharp light flashed in his eyes. The young man's expression froze under Chang Yuhai's gaze. He bowed respectfully and said, Yes, I heard that the sect leader will hold an elder promotion ceremony for Xia Yi next month. Oh, he's going to be promoted to elder. No wonder he dares to behave atrociously in front of the Chang clan. Chang Yuhai murmured to himself. His face turned cold, and he said, I'd like to see how Xia Yi will kill the Chang clan's people on the combat ring. As Chang Yuhai's words faded, he slowly stood up and shakily walked out of the cave. If someone who wasn't familiar with Chang Yuhai saw him like this, they might think that he was an old man who didn't have much time left. Seeing Chang Yuhai walk out, the purple gold-crowned youth didn't dare to hesitate and hurriedly followed Chang Yuhai out of the cave. Chang Yuhai and the old man soon arrived at the combat ring. At this moment, the surroundings of the life and death ring were filled with people. There were disciples and seniors of the Tao Talisman sect. From their point of view, a battle of life and death between two powerhouses whose strength was comparable to 9 seals was still very interesting. Ancestor Yuhai. Seeing Chang Yuhai arrive at the life and death arena, the people and the spectators stand to the side of the life and death arena respectfully stood up and bowed. In response to the crowd's actions, Chang Yuhai extended his wrinkled old hand and spread it open. There is no hierarchy in the life and death arena. All of you sit down. After Chang Yuhai finished speaking, he no longer paid any attention to the people around him. He walked to the front of the spectator stands and sat down. When Chang Yuhai sat down, a middle-aged man in a golden robe and a middle-aged man in a blue Taoist robe came to the spectator stands. Greetings, sect leader and Grand Elder Minglin. Everyone stood up and bowed respectfully when they saw the middle-aged man in a golden robe and the middle-aged man in a blue Taoist robe. The middle-aged man in a golden robe was the sect leader of the Tao Talisman sect, Li Lulin. As for the middle-aged man in a blue Taoist robe beside Li Lulin, he was Xia Yi's master, Grand Elder Ming Lin. Li Lulin and Ming Lin waved their hands indifferently at everyone's salute, indicating that they didn't need to be overly courteous. After Li Lulin and Ming Lin waved their hands, they walked towards Chang Yuhai and respectfully said, "Greetings, Ancestor Yuhai." Chang Yuhai nodded indifferently at Li Lulu and Lin Feng's greeting. His expression revealed a trace of displeasure. Seeing Chang Yuhai's reaction, Li Lulu and Lin Feng looked at each other and quickly understood each other's thoughts. They both knew that Chang Yuhai was angry about Xia Yi and Chang Wei's combat ring. Knowing Chang Yuhai's thoughts, Supreme Elder Minglin revealed an ashamed expression and explained to Chang Yuhai, "Ancestor Yuhai, Xia Yi indeed lacked consideration in this matter. I have already reprimanded him not long ago and told him to control his strength in the battle. Therefore, Ancestor Yuhai, please do not worry. Xia Yi will definitely not harm Chang Wei in the battle." Hearing Ming Lin's words, Chang Yuhai's displeasure grew even stronger. He asked in return, "Grand Elder Ming Lin, from what you've said, it seems that the people of my Chang clan are already so useless that we need others to show mercy in order to survive." I didn't mean that." Ming Lin was at a loss for words when he heard Chang Yuhai's displeasure. He didn't know how to refute and kept quiet. Seeing that Ming Lin didn't say anything, Chang Yuhai didn't pay any more attention to him and looked at the life and death arena again. To everyone's surprise, Xia Yi was the only one in the combat ring. Chang Wei was nowhere to be seen. Xia Yi smiled proudly when he saw that Mo Qingyun didn't appear. He laughed loudly. "Chang Wei is such a coward. I don't think he has a problem with his lower body. He doesn't even have a lower body." After hearing Xia Yi's words, everyone looked at each other and whispered to each other, "What do you think? Chang Wei hasn't appeared yet. Is he afraid? It's hard to say. After all, the difference in strength between him and Xia Yi is too great. There's no need for him to throw his life away. No matter what, if Chang Wei doesn't come, he won't be able to face anyone in the Tao Talisman sect." For a time, everyone was filled with disdain towards Mo Qingyun. They despised Mo Qingyun in their hearts. Chang Wei had declared that he would fight to the death with Chang Wei, but he chose to avoid the battle when it was time. What a coward. That coward Chang Wei is avoiding the battle. How infuriating. Wang Wenquan gnashed his teeth in anger when he saw that Mo Qingyun hadn't shown up yet. He was waiting for Xia Yi to ruthlessly torture Mo Qingyun to death when Mo Qingyun and Xia Yi fought, so that he could vent the hatred in his heart. In contrast to Wang Wenquan's anger, Wang Yuesher smiled sweetly. She was secretly delighted as she muttered to herself, "I thought you were very capable. It turns out that you're also afraid of death. You chose to avoid the battle. You're smart." Wang Yuesher muttered to herself. Then, she rolled her beautiful eyes and said with a sly smile, "It turns out that you didn't intend to fight Xia Yi to the death. Instead, you wanted to scare Xia Yi away. However, you didn't expect Xia Yi to accept your challenge. Now, you've embarrassed yourself. Served you right, haha." Wang Yuesher felt that she had seen through Mo Qingyun's thoughts and understood why Mo Qingyun wanted to fight Xia Yi to the death. When she thought about how Mo Qingyun would be mocked in the Tao Talisman sect in the future, Wang Yuesher felt smug again. Wang Yuesher didn't know that she had started to care about Mo Qingyun. She couldn't help but care for Mo Qingyun. Deep in her heart, she still hoped that Mo Qingyun wouldn't come and fight Xia Yi. Otherwise, he would be killed by Xia Yi. While Wang Yuesher was worried about Mo Qingyun, Xia Yi walked over to her with a smug look on his face. "Yuesher, don't worry. After today's incident, Chang Wei won't dare to pester you anymore." "Chang Wei is pestering me?" Wang Yuesher frowned instinctively when she heard Xia Yi's words. She shook her head and said coldly, "Senior brother Xia Yi, I think you're mistaken. Chang Wei isn't pestering me. Besides, you don't have to worry about me. You. Xiaoyi's expression turned ugly when he heard Wang Yuesher's cold reply. He felt that he had lost face. Chang Wei is here. Chapter 1150. Soon Takashi is here. Everyone around the combat ring turned to look at the source of the voice when they heard it. Not far away, Mo Qingyun was leisurely walking towards the life and death arena. He did not look scared at all. It was as if he was taking a stroll in his own backyard. He's here. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk to the life and death arena, Wang Yuesher was astonished. She couldn't believe it and exclaimed, "Did I guess wrong? He shouldn't be here." Wang Yuesher, who thought she knew Mo Qingyun, suddenly realized that she knew even less about Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun leisurely walked to the combat ring under everyone's gaze. He looked at Xia Yi and said, "You're early. Why are you in such a hurry to die?" The combat ring fell silent. Everyone widened their eyes and looked at Mo Qingyun in shock. They did not expect Mo Qingyun to say that. Did Sun Takashi take the wrong medicine? With his late-stage 8-seal cultivation, he had no chance of winning against Xia Yi, who was at the middle-stage 9-yin realm. He actually said that Xia Yi was here to die. He was too confident. Everyone was shocked and confused by Mo Qingyun's actions. They did not understand where Mo Qingyun got his confidence from. This kid is quite boastful. Chang Yuhai, who had been looking upset, smiled faintly when he saw Mo Qingyun's reaction. "However, if he embarrasses me later, I'll teach him a lesson." Supreme Elder Minglin's expression tensed up when he saw Chang Yuhai smile happily because of Mo Qingyun's words. From this point, he could clearly see that Chang Yuhai doted on Sun Takashi a lot. Beside the combat ring, "Why are you here?" Looking at Mo Qingyun, who was standing on the life and death arena, Wang Yuesher revealed a nervous and worried expression. She glared at Mo Qingyun fiercely. Looking at her actions, it was clear that she was very worried about Mo Qingyun. She looked like she was worried about him. "Are you worried about me?" Mo Qingyun was stunned when he saw Wang Yuesher's reaction. He asked Wang Yuesher with a surprised expression. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, Wang Yuesher should be very happy to see him fight with Xia Yi. She shouldn't be so worried. Wang Yuesher blushed when she heard Mo Qingyun's question. She realized that her actions were inappropriate. Shouldn't she hate Chang Wei? Why are you saying words of concern now? After a brief moment of doubt and regret, Wang Yuesher pretended to be angry. She glared at Mo Qingyun and said angrily, "I'm not worried about you. You'd better be crippled by Xia Yi." You, idiot, idiot. Was she scolding him? Or was she flirting? Everyone was stunned when they saw Wang Yuesher's actions. They could not believe what they saw. Wang Yuesher? Did she really hate Chang Wei? Why didn't it seem like it? Am I seeing things? Wang Yuesher, the ice beauty, is acting shy in front of Chang Wei. Don't you think that Wang Yuesher and Chang Wei's conversation is a little ambiguous? You noticed it too. Wang Yuesher's actions just now were clearly showing concern for Chang Wei. If that's the case, Chang Wei and Wang Yuesher are a real couple. Xia Yi is just an interloper? Damn, Chang Wei has some tricks up his sleeve. He managed to take Wang Yuesher down without a sound. After a round of discussion, everyone noticed that Mo Qingyun and Wang Yuesher's actions were strange. They deduced that Mo Qingyun and Wang Yuesher's relationship was not ordinary. After discovering this, he looked at Mo Qingyun with admiration in his eyes. Wang Yuesher was not only the pride of the Dao Charm sect, but she was also one of the 3 great beauties of the Dao Charm sect. She was known as the Ice Beauty of the Dao Charm sect. The fact that Mo Qingyun was able to take her down showed that Mo Qingyun's ability to control women was extraordinary. After Wang Yuesher finished speaking, she stomped her foot in embarrassment and turned her head away with a pout, ignoring Mo Qingyun. Chang Wei, stay away from Yuesher. Xia Yi was jealous when he saw Mo Qingyun and Wang Yuesher whispering to each other. He scolded Mo Qingyun angrily. In his opinion, Chang Wei was too despicable. He actually dared to flirt with a woman he liked in front of Xia Yi. Chang Wei was blatantly ignoring him. Mo Qingyun frowned slightly when he heard Xia Yi's words. He asked Wang Yuesher, "Are you related to him?" How? How is that possible? Wang Yuesher blushed when she heard Mo Qingyun's question. She was afraid that Mo Qingyun would misunderstand and hurriedly explained, "He's just like you. He's an annoying fellow." Haha, is that so? Mo Qingyun's expression became a little awkward when he heard Wang Yuesher's words. He grinned and said, "How about I help you get rid of him?" Wang Yuesher blinked her beautiful eyes and sized up Mo Qingyun carefully. She smiled sweetly and said, "Do you have the ability?" Mo Qingyun only smiled faintly in response to Wang Yuesher's words and did not explain further. Xia Yi was completely enraged when he saw that Mo Qingyun was ignoring him and was still smiling mischievously with Wang Yuesher. He roared, "Chang Wei, didn't you hear what I said? Stay away from Yuesher." "Shut up." Mo Qingyun's face darkened when he saw Xia Yi's ignorant interruption. He shouted angrily and said, "If you don't want to die immediately, stay at the side obediently and keep quiet." Everyone's expression changed drastically when they heard Mo Qingyun's words. They looked at Mo Qingyun in a different light. Chang Wei was domineering. Chang Wei was mighty. Xia Yi finally couldn't take it anymore when he saw Mo Qingyun's behavior. He didn't want to waste any more words with Mo Qingyun. If he didn't teach Mo Qingyun a lesson now, he would really lose all his face. "Chang Wei, I wouldn't have made things difficult for you on account of Ancestor Yu Hai and the Sect Master if you had backed off. However, I've changed my mind now," Xia Yi said angrily. Then, he charged at Mo Qingyun and shouted, "Today, I'll let you know that you, Chang Wei, are nothing but a good-for-nothing who relies on your family's background." Demonic Bear Sky, Splitting Seal. Xia Yi threw out a punch. Suddenly, a golden glow appeared on his fist and quickly condensed into a giant golden bear. After the giant golden bear condensed, it exuded an earth-shattering aura that forced the surrounding disciples to retreat. Some of the weaker Seven Seals disciples had blood dripping from the corners of their mouths under the pressure of the giant golden bear's aura. Xia Yi was so powerful. He was indeed a Middle Nine Seals powerhouse. Everyone was shocked when they saw the power of Xia Yi's punch. They were terrified of Xia Yi's strength. At the same time, they were also worried for Mo Qingyun. Chapter 1151. While the crowd was still shocked by Xia Yi's strength, Mo Qingyun, who was chatting with Wang Yuesher, made his move. Mo Qingyun looked impatient as he faced the golden bear's attack. He did not even turn his head as he raised his hand to grab the golden bear. Then, a giant azure palm that blotted out the sun condensed above the life and death ring at an extremely fast speed, grabbing at the giant golden bear below. The azure palm was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it was above the golden bear's head and was about to crush its body. Faced with the attack of the azure giant palm, the giant golden bear had no time to dodge. Its body was covered in a layer of frost, causing it to lose its ability to move in an instant. The golden bear's body immediately collapsed under the pressure of the azure palm. First, its feet, then its legs, then its body, and finally its head. Bang, bang, bang. As the giant golden bear's body collapsed, a terrifying explosion erupted from its body. At the same time, a terrifying elemental energy storm erupted as the golden bear's body collapsed. Under the influence of this elemental energy storm, the surrounding spectating disciples retreated once again to avoid the impact of this elemental energy storm. While the crowd was retreating, Mo Qingyun grabbed at Xia Yi again. He still did not turn his head to look at Xia Yi. Mo Qingyun struck again. A terrifying wave of elemental energy erupted from his palm and turned into a giant azure palm. When the azure palm was formed, it approached Xia Yi at an extremely fast speed. It was about to grab Xia Yi's body in its palm. Break! Xia Yi did not dare to be careless in the face of the incoming azure palm. He hurriedly threw a punch at the azure palm. After Xia Yi threw out his palm, he took out two golden seals. They turned into two huge golden bulls and charged at the azure palm. Faced with the domineering collision of the two golden bulls, the sky-blue giant palm was instantly broken and turned into light blue water droplets, floating around Xia Yi's body. Xia Yi was pleased with himself when he saw this. He said disdainfully, "Insignificant skill. You can't even withstand a single blow." Before Xia Yi could finish his sentence, his face twitched and his smile disappeared. The sky-blue giant palms that had been smashed apart by the two golden barbaric bulls actually reformed once again and continued to grab at him at an extremely fast speed. Not only that, but the newly formed azure palm was even more powerful than before. It also emitted a bone-chilling aura. Xia Yi felt as if his blood had stopped flowing and his body had been petrified by the chilliness. Then, the crowd saw Xia Yi being captured by the azure palm like a statue and brought to Mo Qingyun. As the azure palm brought Xia Yi to Mo Qingyun slowly raised his right hand and grabbed at Xia Yi's neck. Crack! When Mo Qingyun grabbed Xia Yi's neck, he exerted force and crushed Xia Yi's throat bone. When Mo Qingyun crushed Xia Yi's throat bone, the law of metal erupted from his palm and rushed into Xia Yi's body. Xia Yi's meridians were instantly shattered by the law of metal's attack. His body went limp like a pile of mud. Plop! After Mo Qingyun killed Xia Yi, he released his grip and threw Xia Yi to the ground. From the moment Mo Qingyun made his move until now, he did not even look at Xia Yi. It was as if Xia Yi was not worthy of his attention. Xia Yi was dead. Everyone's eyes widened when they saw Xia Yi lying limp on the ground like a pile of mud. They could not believe it. Even Xia Yi, who was at the intermediate ninth seal realm, could not resist Chong Wei's attack. How did Chong Wei become so strong? The strength that Chong Wei displayed was comparable to an expert at the perfected ninth seal realm. Most importantly, when Tsun Takashi attacked earlier, he seemed to have used his origin energy and not his soul power. Could it be that Chong Wei also cultivated Yuan energy? At this moment, everyone was puzzled. They felt that Chong Wei had suddenly become mysterious and unfamiliar. He killed Xia Yi with just one move. Wang Yuesher's eyes widened as she watched Mo Qingyun casually kill Xia Yi. She couldn't believe this was real. She had imagined many possible outcomes. However, no matter which one she imagined, Mo Qingyun would be beaten black and blue by Xia Yi. However, the current situation was the complete opposite of what she had imagined. Xia Yi was killed by Mo Qingyun in a thunderous manner. This result was far beyond her expectations. No, impossible. This can't be true. How can Chong Wei be so strong? Wang Wenquan was shocked when he saw how Mo Qingyun killed Xia Yi. He could not accept this outcome. Compared to the others who were shocked, Chang Yuhai was pleasantly surprised when he saw Mo Qingyun's performance. He said, Good lad. You have hidden your strength so well. You have cultivated your Yuan energy to such a level without anyone knowing." Seeing Chang Yuhai's surprised expression, the young man with the purple gold crown bowed and whispered to Chang Yuhai, "Old ancestor, I heard from some of my junior brothers that Chong Wei has been auctioning a lot of immortal stones in the Talisman Ancestor City. It seems like he is preparing to enter the Wild Continent." "Oh, there's such a thing." Chang Yuhai's expression changed slightly. He was surprised and nodded in satisfaction. This lad has indeed hidden his strength well. Although he has performed well in the past, his performance today is too different. Moreover, he is collecting immortal stones to enter the path of immortality. It seems like he has been preparing for this day for a long time. Old ancestor, it seems like we have underestimated Chong Wei in the past. This lad has shocked everyone with a single brilliant feat. Li Lulin sighed and became excited. He praised, with Tsun Takashi's extraordinary cultivation talent, calm temperament, and terrifying endurance, his potential will probably surpass Sun Rong. Sun Rong, the #1 genius of the Dao Talisman sect, had already reached the complete Ninth Seal realm. Li Lulin compared Mo Qingyun to him. It was obvious that Mo Qingyun's position in Li Lulin's heart had risen. There is still a gap between him and Sun Rong. However, if Chang Wei works hard, he might be able to catch up in the future. Chang Yuhai smiled happily at Li Lulin's words. His face was filled with ecstasy as he continued. Since Ah Wei wants to go to the wasteland continent, as his seniors, shouldn't we give him our full support? Of course. Chapter 1152. After chatting with Li Lulin for a while, Chang Yuhai's face suddenly turned cold as he turned to look at Grand Elder Ming Lin. Seeing Chang Yuhai's expression, Ming Lin's expression immediately changed as he understood what Chang Yuhai was about to say. Knowing Chang Yuhai's thoughts, Grand Elder Ming Lin did not wait for Chang Yuhai to speak. With a solemn expression, he took the initiative to state his position. Xia Yi bullied his junior brother in the sect because of his own strength. His skills were inferior, and he died in the hands of martial nephew Chang Wei. He deserved it and cannot blame others. At this moment, Ming Lin felt extremely wronged. His disciple, Xia Yi, was killed, and he still had to go against his conscience and say that it was Xia Yi's fault. Of course, Ming Lin's heart was filled with disgust and hatred towards Xia Yi. Tell me, it's fine that Xia Yi died, but why did he have to create such a mess for Ming Lin? While the crowd was still in shock at Mo Qingyun's actions, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly at Wang Yuesher and said, "The trouble has been solved. You can have some peace from now on." After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he leisurely walked down from the life and death ring as if he was taking a stroll in his own garden. Seeing Mo Qingyun walk down from the life and death ring, the surrounding disciples were all in awe as they made way for him. In just a short moment, Mo Qingyun had used his own strength to win everyone's respect and awe. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Wang Yuesher couldn't help but fall into a daze as she recalled Mo Qingyun's previous words. "How about I help you get rid of him? He actually did it. He didn't lie to me." Recalling Mo Qingyun's words, Wang Yuesher's expression was a little dazed as she muttered to herself, "He has never lied to me before." Thinking of this, Wang Yuesher's gaze once again turned to Mo Qingyun. Her expression was filled with intense curiosity and confusion as she muttered to herself, "What kind of person is he? Was he really a rude and unreasonable profligate, or a wanton genius?" After a moment of absent-mindedness and confusion, a faint smile appeared on Wang Yuesher's beautiful face. She looked at Mo Qingyun's back and smiled sweetly. "No matter what, Chang Wei's character doesn't seem as bad as I thought. He can be considered as upright and unruly." At this moment, if Mo Qingyun heard Wang Yuesher's words, he would definitely discover that Wang Yuesher's impression of him had changed. Seeing Mo Qingyun leave the life and death arena, Chang Yuhai, who was in the spectator stands, smiled faintly and said to the purple-gold-crowned youth, "Chang Feng, get Ah Wei to come see me later. I have something to discuss with him." With that, Chang Yuhai did not linger any longer. He rose into the air and returned to his dwelling. Yes, the purple-gold-crowned young man nodded respectfully when he heard Chang Yuhai's instructions. He moved and chased after Mo Qingyun. After that, the people around the life and death stage left one after another. Mo Qingyun's speed of returning to his residence was not fast. Before long, he was caught up by Chang Feng. "Ah Wei, Ancestor Yuhai has sent a message. He wants you to come with me to see him." Chang Feng blocked Mo Qingyun's path. He directly told Mo Qingyun what Chang Yuhai had told him earlier. "Ancestor Yuhai wants to see me?" Mo Qingyun pondered. After thinking quickly, he nodded to Chang Feng and said, "If that's the case, I'll have to trouble Brother Chang Feng to lead the way." Afterwards, Mo Qingyun followed behind Chang Feng and headed towards Chang Yuhai's dwelling. About a quarter of an hour later, Mo Qingyun and his companion arrived in front of Chang Yuhai's cave dwelling and walked inside. "Ancestor, Ah Wei is here." After entering the dwelling, Chang Feng bowed to Chang Yuhai. When Chang Feng bowed to Chang Yuhai, Mo Qingyun also walked forward and cupped his hands at Chang Yuhai. "Chang Wei greets Ancestor Yuhai. Sit down." Looking at Mo Qingyun and Chang Feng before him, Chang Yuhai revealed a gratified smile and greeted the two of them. "Thank you, Ancestor." After hearing Chang Yuhai's words, Mo Qingyun and Chang Feng bowed and sat down on the chairs at the side. Seeing Mo Qingyun and Chang Feng sit down, Chang Yuhai pretended to be unhappy and glared at Mo Qingyun. "Little fellow, you've really hidden your strength well. You've cultivated your origin force to such a level, and yet you didn't show it at all. If Xia Yi hadn't provoked you this time, I'm afraid you would have continued to hide, right?" Seeing Chang Yuhai's expression, Chang Feng immediately revealed a nervous expression and hurriedly explained for Mo Qingyun. "Ancestor, please calm down. I believe Ah Wei has his reasons for doing this. I hope Ancestor won't be angry with Ah Wei." Seeing Chang Feng's reaction, Chang Yuhai couldn't help but shake his head. A trace of imperceptible disappointment flashed across his eyes. In Chang Yuhai's opinion, Chang Feng's ability to observe people's expressions was too weak. He actually couldn't tell that Chang Yuhai was pretending to be unhappy. In contrast to Chang Feng's nervousness, Mo Qingyun's expression was calm. He said calmly, "Ancestor, I've heard of a saying before. The tallest tree in the forest will be destroyed by the wind. Before I have the ability to completely protect myself, I'm afraid it might not be a good thing for me to show off my talent in cultivation." "I didn't expect you to think so far ahead." "Very good, very good." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chang Yuhai revealed a gratified smile. His gaze towards Mo Qingyun became even gentler. To be able to have such meticulous thoughts and foresight at such a young age was really too commendable. After Chang Yuhai praised Mo Qingyun, his expression suddenly turned serious. He said in a low voice, "I heard from the disciples in the sect that you seem to be preparing to head to the Wasteland Continent. The path to the Wasteland Continent is not easy to cross. How confident are you in crossing the path?" "I'm not confident, but I'm willing to try." In response to Chang Yuhai's question, Mo Qingyun was still calm as he spoke his thoughts. Mo Qingyun's words were not perfunctory to Chang Yuhai. Instead, he spoke his true thoughts. The path to the Wasteland Continent was fraught with danger. No one dared to say that they were completely confident of crossing it. Since they were not completely confident, they would only have a slim chance of surviving if any danger appeared. To put it bluntly, it was equivalent to not being confident of crossing it. Not confident? Chang Yuhai was slightly stunned when he heard Mo Qingyun's answer. He then laughed heartily. "Not confident? Little fellow, you really do things flawlessly. Looks like the entire Dao Talisman sect was fooled by you in the past." In Chang Yuhai's opinion, Mo Qingyun's current wisdom and calmness were simply worlds apart from the past Chang Wei. "No, I've never lied to anyone." After Chang Yuhai finished speaking, Mo Qingyun shook his head indifferently and refuted Chang Yuhai's point of view. He said, "I've never said that I'm a wastrel. It doesn't seem to be my fault that others can't see through me, right?" This, Chang Yuhai looked at Mo Qingyun and couldn't help but fall silent. He actually couldn't refute. Chapter 1153. I heard you're collecting celestial stones? Chang Yuhai remained silent for a moment before he raised his head to look at Mo Qingyun and told him why he had summoned Mo Qingyun. "That's right." Mo Qingyun nodded and did not deny it. Chang Yuhai took out a cosmos bag when he saw Mo Qingyun nod in confirmation. He handed it to Mo Qingyun and said, "Here are 30 celestial stones. Take them. Perhaps they'll be of use to you when you enter the Wasteland Continent in the future." 300,000 celestial stones. Mo Qingyun was shocked when he saw the cosmos bag handed over by Chang Yuhai. Excitement rose in his heart. He had spent a lot of effort to collect 200,000 celestial stones. He did not expect 300,000 celestial stones to appear out of thin air. This was really an unexpected gain. "Thank you, Ancestor." After being stunned for a moment, Mo Qingyun thanked Chang Yuhai and took the celestial stones from him. The smile on Mo Qingyun's face grew wider when he received the 300,000 celestial stones. He felt more confident about dealing with the 9 great immortal gates. "Since you've sponsored me with celestial stones, I'll spare your lives if you're willing to submit to me." Mo Qingyun decided to spare Chang Yuhai and the others because of the celestial stones that Chang Yuhai had given him. Of course, if Chang Yuhai and the others did not accept his kindness and were unwilling to submit to him, he would have no choice but to kill them. After all, with Chang Yuhai and the others' cultivation, they would be a very troublesome disaster if they were left alive. While Mo Qingyun was pondering, Chang Yuhai sighed and said to Mo Qingyun, "I'll wait." Back then, when our ancestor founded the Tao Talisman sect, our Chang clan was so majestic and glorious. Who would have thought that after a few tens of thousands of years, our Chang clan would have completely declined? We couldn't even protect the foundation of our ancestors. Hearing Chang Yuhai's words, Mo Qingyun also revealed a sorrowful expression. He felt a trace of sadness for Chang Yuhai in his heart. If the Chang clan continued to prosper in the future, the position of Tao Talisman sect's patriarch would most likely not fall into Li Lulin's hands. Chang Yuhai sighed emotionally. Then he looked at Mo Qingyun with a gratified expression and said, "I was originally worried about what the Chang clan would do once my lifespan ran out. Now that I see your achievements, I can be completely at ease. Ancestor, your magic power is boundless. You will definitely live forever." Hearing Chang Yuhai's words, Chang Feng's expression dimmed as he consoled Chang Yuhai. He had been serving Chang Yuhai for a long time, so he was very clear about Chang Yuhai's situation. 10 years ago, Chang Yuhai's cultivation had reached the pinnacle of the ninth seal Talisman Lord, and he was ready to break through to the celestial realm, which was above the ninth seal. Who knew that when Chang Yuhai was assaulting the celestial tier above the nine seals, he was plotted against by the people of the Sun clan. Because of this, not only did Chang Yuhai lose the opportunity to advance to the celestial tier, he also suffered a backlash and lost tens of thousands of years of his lifespan. It was also because of this that Chang Yuhai's remaining lifespan was now less than 1,000 years. 1,000 years of lifespan was really too short for someone like Chang Yuhai. One closed-door cultivation was more or less over. "Chang Feng, you don't have to console me. I know my current situation better than anyone else." Chang Yuhai shook his head helplessly in response to Chang Feng's words of consolation. He warned Mo Qingyun sternly, "I'll wait. Although you now possess strength comparable to the perfected nine seals, you still have to be wary of two people in this Tao Talisman sect." Be wary of two people? Mo Qingyun was puzzled. His expression also became more solemn as he waited for Chang Yuhai's explanation. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, even someone like Chang Yuhai, who had reached the pinnacle of nine seals, was giving him such a warning. It seemed that the strength of the two people mentioned by Chang Yuhai should have reached an extremely terrifying level. When he saw Mo Qingyun's solemn expression, Chang Yuhai no longer kept him in suspense. With a solemn expression, he said, "The first person is the number one genius of the Tao Talisman sect, Sun Rong. Sun Rong's cultivation has already reached the pinnacle of 9 seals in 30 years. His current strength is probably above mine. If he discovers that you threaten his position, he may come to find trouble with you. You must be careful when dealing with him." Mo Qingyun nodded and made a mental note of Sun Rong's name. When he saw Mo Qingyun's solemn expression, Chang Yuhai nodded in satisfaction and said to Mo Qingyun, "As for the other person, he is the ancestor of the Sun clan, Sun Meng. When I failed to advance to the celestial tier, it was Sun Meng who secretly tampered with it. Moreover, Sun Meng's cultivation has already reached the celestial tier 50 years ago. You must be careful of his underhanded methods." Celestial tier? When he heard Chang Yuhai's words, Mo Qingyun's expression couldn't help but turn solemn. He didn't expect the Tao Talisman sect to have such an existence. Fortunately, Chang Yuhai had told him this time. Otherwise, he might have been consigned to eternal damnation if he acted rashly against the 9 great immortal gates. It seems that the matter of rebuilding the Weapon Talisman sect needs to be replanned. Mo Qingyun thought to himself. He secretly made a new plan for the 9 great immortal gates and the 9 great immortal gates. The 9 great immortal gates were indeed extraordinary. Their foundation wasn't as simple as it seemed. With your current cultivation, there are some things that you should know. When he saw Mo Qingyun's shocked expression, Chang Yuhai sighed and said to Mo Qingyun in a deep voice, when the ancestor of the Chang clan established the Tao Talisman sect, he once obtained an ancient secret manual that recorded some information about the savage continent. It was said that the 9 realms of the martial way were only the beginning stages of cultivation on the savage continent. It was said that the 9 realms of the martial way were only the beginning stages of cultivation on the savage continent. It was equivalent to the 9 immortal-seeking realms of the savage continent. Above the immortal-seeking realms was the celestial tier. Rumor has it that the celestial tier required one to undergo 5 heavenly tribulations. Once one overcame these 5 heavenly tribulations, one would become a true immortal. The savage continent is indeed extraordinary. The sovereign realm is only the beginning stages. After hearing Chang Yuhai's explanation, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but sigh in his heart. He had a stronger yearning for the savage continent. He said to himself, "It seems that if I have time in the future, I should ask Senior He Xian and the others about the savage continent." After Mo Qingyun thought about it, he asked Chang Yuhai curiously, "Ancestor, I once saw the remnant thought of a golden celestial powerhouse in a mystery land. Do you know what kind of realm a golden celestial is?" "Golden immortal." When he heard Mo Qingyun's question, Chang Yuhai revealed a puzzled expression. He shook his head and said, "In the ancient scroll left behind by the ancestor, there was no detailed information about the immortal realm. I guess it must be an extremely powerful existence among the immortals. It seems that I can only ask Senior He Xian and the others in the future." When he heard Chang Yuhai's answer, Mo Qingyun sighed his heart and didn't continue to ask. Chapter 1154. 5 Directions Miniature Pagoda's Second Floor. After leaving Chang Yuhai's residence, Mo Qingyun returned to Chang Wei's residence and directly entered the 5 Directions Miniature Pagoda. On the way back, Mo Qingyun discovered that Mo's cultivation had reached the limit of the Supreme Being realm and was about to break through to the Sovereign realm. After entering the 5 Directions Miniature Pagoda, Mo Qingyun began to concentrate on his cultivation and began to help Mo break through. Mo possessed the bloodline of the 3-eyed demon race. In terms of talent, he was only slightly weaker than Mo Qingyun and slightly stronger than He Xian and the others. If Mo's cultivation broke through to the Sovereign realm, it would be of great help to Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun's strength would be like a tiger that had grown wings. After an unknown period of time, the tightly shut eye between Mo's eyebrows suddenly opened and shot out a dazzling black light. Under the sweep of this black light, even the inner walls of the 5 Directions Miniature Pagoda that could withstand the immortal immolating war halberd attack was left with a mark. What a terrifying eye ray! It can even damage the inner walls of the 5 Directions Miniature Pagoda. Seeing the might of this eye ray, Mo Qingyun's face instantly revealed an excited expression. A feeling of joy rose in his heart as he thought to himself, "Under the frightening might of this eye ray, I'm afraid that even Sky Realm experts won't be able to withstand it. In this case, I have another trump card." At this moment, while Mo Qingyun was overjoyed, Mo's aura suddenly grew several times stronger. His cultivation had broken through to the Sovereign realm. Seeing that Mo's cultivation had broken through to the Sovereign realm, Mo Qingyun didn't hesitate to take out 10,000 immortal stones and place them around Mo so that he could refine them to stabilize his cultivation. After taking out the immortal stones and letting Mo refine them to stabilize his cultivation, Mo Qingyun left the 5 Directions Miniature Pagoda. After leaving the 5 Directions Miniature Pagoda, Mo Qingyun didn't linger in the room. He immediately opened the door and walked out. When Mo Qingyun walked out of the room, Steward Huang, who was waiting outside, hurriedly welcomed Mo Qingyun and said, "Young Master Chang Wei, Miss Wang Yuesher is here again. She's waiting for you in the pavilion in the backyard." "Wang Yuesher is here again?" Knowing that Wang Yuesher had come to the mansion, Mo Qingyun couldn't help but be stunned. He He was a little surprised by Wang Yuesher's appearance. Logically speaking, since he had already let Wang Wenquan go and helped Wang Yuesher to get rid of Xia Yi, they should not have crossed paths anymore. Moreover, based on Chang Wei's reputation in the Dao Talisman sect, shouldn't Wang Yuesher keep a respectful distance from him? Now Yuesher's, she took the initiative, was Pagoda. Mo's lord, after a brief moment of surprise, and Mo Qingyun suddenly raised his eyebrows. He remembered that he had something to tell Wang Yuesher. Then, Mo Qingyun walked to the pavilion in the backyard without hesitation. Judging from the current situation, Miss Wang Yuesher can't escape from young Master Chang Wei. Young Master Chang Wei is indeed smart. Looking at Mo Qingyun, who went to meet Wang Yuesher, Steward Huang revealed a look of admiration. He was completely convinced by Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun didn't have the energy to care about Steward Huang's thoughts. Soon, he arrived at the pavilion in the backyard. You're here. Wang Yuesher blushed when she saw Mo Qingyun. She stood up and greeted Mo Qingyun. Wang Yuesher didn't look like an ice beauty at all. She looked like a girl in heat who was meeting her lover. Let's sit down and talk. Mo Qingyun politely gestured for Wang Yuesher to sit down and asked, "Why are you looking for me? Can't I look for you if I'm not looking for you?" Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's question, Wang Yuesher instinctively asked with a hint of dissatisfaction in her tone. However, Wang Yuesher soon realized that she was wrong. She blushed and said shyly, "I'm here to thank you for helping me deal with Xia. It's a small matter. I don't like him." Mo Qingyun smiled in an unconcerned manner and waved his hand at Wang Yuesher. After that, his expression turned solemn as he said, "It just so happens that I have something to tell you as well. A great change might occur in the Dao Talisman sect soon. Leave the Dao Talisman sect with Wang Wenquan soon." A huge change is going to happen in Dao Talisman sect? Wang Yuesher blinked her beautiful eyes, revealing a look of surprise. She asked curiously, "What's going to happen in the Dao Talisman sect? Where did you get this information? Besides that, something major is about to happen in the Dao Talisman sect. As a disciple, shouldn't I stay behind?" At that moment, Wang Yuesher was very puzzled. Why would Mo Qingyun say that to her? "Please don't be angry. I can't tell you this for the time being because it concerns some of my secrets." Mo Qingyun shook his head with an apologetic expression before he said to Wang Yuesher, "If you trust me, then immediately leave the Dao Talisman sect with Wang Wenquan. You will naturally understand the reason once this matter is over. If you trust me, leave Dao Talisman sect with Wang Wenquan." Wang Yuesher was a little confused when she heard Mo Qingyun. Should she trust Chang Wei? With Tsun Takashi's character, was he worthy of her trust? Speaking of which, although Chang Wei didn't have a good reputation in Dao Talisman sect, he had never failed to keep his promises. "All right, I trust you. I'll leave Dao Talisman sect with Big Brother immediately." Wang Yuesher hesitated for a while before smiling at Mo Qingyun and deciding to leave Dao Talisman sect with Wang Wenquan immediately. Okay. Mo Qingyun relaxed a little when he saw that Wang Yuesher had decided to leave Dao Talisman sect. He nodded in satisfaction. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, once he fell out with Dao Talisman sect, they wouldn't be able to do anything to him and would very likely choose to attack those close to him. There were rumors in Dao Talisman sect that he was in love with Wang Yuesher. In desperation, Dao Talisman sect might capture Wang Yuesher to threaten him. Therefore, in order to ensure that he wouldn't have any worries when the time came, he suggested that Wang Yuesher leave Dao Talisman sect. This was the best solution for Mo Qingyun. At this moment, Steward Huang's expression was solemn as he quickly walked over to Mo Qingyun's side while Mo Qingyun's side was talking. "Steward Huang, what's the matter?" Seeing Steward Huang's expression, Mo Qingyun's heart skipped a beat. A sense of uneasiness rose in his heart. When Steward Huang heard Mo Qingyun's question, he glanced at Wang Yuesher and whispered in Mo Qingyun's ear, "Young Master Chang Wei, young sect master Sun Rong is here. He wants you to go see him immediately." Sun Rong? Mo Qingyun was surprised when he heard that. He was surprised that Sun Rong had come uninvited. He clearly remembered that Chang Yuhai had reminded him not long ago to to be careful of Sun Rong and Sun Ming. Chapter 1155. You've come rather quickly. After roughly guessing Sun Rong's intentions, Mo Qingyun sneered in his heart. He stood up and said, "Since you're here, let's meet. Miss Yuesher, I still have some matters to attend to, so I won't accompany you any longer." Mo Qingyun nodded apologetically at Wang Yuesher before turning around and walking out of the pavilion in preparation to meet Sun Rong. Wang Yuesher's pretty face tensed up when she saw Mo Qingyun going to meet Sun Rong. She revealed a worried expression and said, "I've heard that Sun Rong is extremely overbearing and cannot tolerate the existence of anyone who threatens him. He will nip anyone who threatens him in the bud. You must be careful of him later." There had always been a rumor about Sun Rong in the Tao symbol sect. It was said that Sun Rong was like a tyrant in an ordinary country. Anyone who dared to oppose him would be executed by him. Hence, the geniuses who rose to prominence in the Tao symbol sect either became Sun Rong's lackeys or were secretly killed by Sun Rong. Sun Rong would never allow anyone from the younger generation of the Tao symbol sect to pose a threat to his position or his Sun clan. Their Sun clan did not wish to follow in the footsteps of the Chang clan and allow their ancestral inheritance to fall into the hands of his people. "Don't worry, Sun Rong can't do anything to me." Mo Qingyun smiled nonchalantly in response to Wang Yuesher's words of concern. He then instructed Wang Yuesher, "The sudden change in the Tao symbol sect can be brought forward. You should return and leave with Wang Wenquan now. I'm worried that other unforeseen events might occur if you're too late." "Okay." Wang Yuesher's expression immediately turned solemn when she heard Mo Qingyun's words. She truly understood the seriousness of the matter. If this was not the case, why would Mo Qingyun remind her so many times? When Mo Qingyun saw Wang Yuesher's solemn expression, he knew that Wang Yuesher was taking his words seriously. Upon seeing this, Mo Qingyun did not stay any longer. He lifted his foot and walked towards the backyard to meet Sun Rong. When Mo Qingyun left the backyard, Wang Yuesher didn't delay any longer. She immediately left Mo Qingyun's estate and intended to leave the Tao Talisman sect with Wang Wenquan. Not long after, Mo Qingyun saw 3 young men sitting in the living room of the mansion. The 3 young men all had very high cultivation bases. All of them had reached the late stage of 9th seal and were much stronger than Xiaoyi. Especially the young man in the middle of the 3, who wore a yellow robe with a golden dragon on it, exuded an even stronger aura than Chang Yuhai. In this way, he should be the number 1 genius of the Tao Talisman School, Sun Rong, that Chang Yuhai spoke of. I wonder why young sect master Sun Rong is looking for me? Mo Qingyun walked into the living room and walked towards Sun Rong with an indifferent expression. He smiled faintly at Sun Rong and asked. After asking Sun Rong, Mo Qingyun casually walked to the top of the living room and lazily sat down on an armchair. "How dare you?" Upon seeing Mo Qingyun's behavior, the 2 young men behind Sun Rong immediately shouted angrily at Mo Qingyun. Then, the 2 of them released their auras and pressed down on Mo Qingyun. When the 2 of them released their auras, they also exuded a bloodline power that suppressed Mo Qingyun's bloodline. "Oh, what a strange bloodline power." Mo Qingyun frowned slightly when he sensed their bloodline power. He was surprised and thought to himself, the bloodline fluctuations in their bodies are somewhat similar to the cyan blue wave eagles, but is purer and more domineering than the cyan blue wave eagle's bloodline. This is really strange. After a short moment of surprise, Mo Qingyun activated his heavenly soul demon bloodline and removed the bloodline pressure that the 2 of them exerted on him. Oh, he's not affected at all by Li Xiao and Li Dan's bloodline pressure. He is indeed quite capable. Seeing Mo Qingyun's calm expression under the pressure of Li Xiao and Li Zhao's bloodline, Sun Rong's opinion of Mo Qingyun immediately improved. The way Sun Rong looked at Mo Qingyun changed. There was some admiration in his eyes as he said, "No wonder you were able to defeat Xia Yi. You have extraordinary talent. You are qualified to be my dark celestial guard." Dark Celestial Guard? Mo Qingyun's expression changed slightly when he heard Sun Rong's words. He smiled faintly at Sun Rong and said, I am indebted to young sect master Sun Rong for thinking highly of me. However, I am used to being lazy and am not used to being controlled by others. Therefore, I am afraid that I cannot comply with your request. You dare to reject my request? Sun Rong's expression instantly darkened when he saw Mo Qingyun's performance. His eyes were sinister as he looked at Mo Qingyun and said, Chong Wei, although you possess great strength and talent, do you know what kind of fate awaits you if you oppose me in this symbol gate? I don't know, and I don't want to know. Mo Qingyun shrugged his shoulders nonchalantly and acted as if he did not care. He replied to Sun Rong and said, Young sect master Sun Rong, if you are here to show off, I can only apologize. I don't have the time to play with you. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he ignored Sun Rong and directly stood up and walked out of the guest hall. He said to Steward Huang, see our guest out. Impudent. The faces of the two youths behind Sun Rong immediately darkened when they saw Mo Qingyun's actions. They immediately threw a punch at Mo Qingyun. The two of them didn't hold back as soon as they attacked. They both blasted out a punch that was enough to kill a cultivator at the consummate ninth seal stage and attacked Mo Qingyun from two different directions. I think the impudent ones are the two of you. The corners of Mo Qingyun's eyes narrowed slightly when he saw their actions. His expression instantly turned cold and gloomy. He said, I, Chong Wei, can't control you if you behave atrociously elsewhere. However, don't blame me for being ruthless when you behave atrociously in my territory. Die. After Mo Qingyun spoke, he threw a punch at the two youths. Two huge flaming palms immediately blasted out. The two flaming palms blasted out with a shocking force of the law of fire and a terrifying heat wave. Under the erosion of the power of the flames, Li Xiao and Li Dan's palms were instantly incinerated and disappeared into the air. However, the attack of the two flaming palms did not weaken at all. They continued to move towards Li Xiao and Li Dan. Master, save us! Li Xiao and Li Dan immediately cried out miserably as they were engulfed by the two flaming palms. They loudly begged Sun Rong for help. Sun Rong's expression instantly darkened when he heard their cries for help. He said coldly to Mo Qingyun, Chong Wei, stop. Chapter 1156. You're courting death. Sun Rong's expression turned cold when he saw Mo Qingyun's reaction. He attacked Mo Qingyun again. Sun Rong quickly rescued Li Xiao and Li Wei, who were engulfed by the giant flaming palm. However, judging from their current state, they would probably become cripples in the future. Chong Wei, you're courting death. Sun Rong gritted his teeth in anger when he saw Mo Qingyun crippling two of his capable subordinates in the blink of an eye. He could not accept the fact that he had lost two Dark Celestial Guards after failing to recruit Chong Wei. These Dark Celestial Guards were his right-hand men in the future. Now that Mo Qingyun had killed two of them, it was equivalent to lowering his chances of clearing the Dark Celestial Guards. This kind of thing was unacceptable. After Sun Rong finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and immediately closed in on Mo Qingyun. This place is too small. Let's fight somewhere else. Mo Qingyun did not panic in the face of Sun Rong's attack. His expression was still as calm as ever. As Mo Qingyun's voice faded, his figure moved and he directly left his residence. Sun Rong did not hesitate when he saw Mo Qingyun leaving his residence. He quickly chased after Mo Qingyun. After a short while, Mo Qingyun and his companion arrived at the life and death arena. At this moment, there were two people fighting in the combat ring. They were locked in a fierce battle. However, as soon as Mo Qingyun and Sun Rong arrived, the two people were sent flying out of the combat ring. They were sent flying out of the combat ring by the shock waves from the battle between Mo Qingyun and Sun Rong. The two people had lingering fear on their faces and no longer had the mood to continue fighting. Look, it's Chong Wei and young sect master Sun Rong. The two of them are fighting. Chang Wei actually dares to go against young sect master Sun Rong. He's got guts. Am I seeing things? Chang Wei is actually fighting Sun Rong to a standstill. He's too strong. This Tsun Takashi has hidden himself really well. Even though he possesses such terrifying strength, he still hasn't revealed himself. Watching the battle between Mo Qingyun and Sun Rong, the people around the life and death ring were shocked. They were once again shocked by Mo Qingyun's strength. While everyone was still in shock over the battle between Mo Qingyun and Mo Qingyun, the news of the battle between Mo Qingyun and Mo Qingyun instantly spread throughout the Tao Talisman sect. A while later, the progenitors and elders of the Tao Talisman sect gathered around the ring of life and death. What's going on? Why is Sun Rong fighting with Tsun Takashi? It must be Sun Rong who wants to subdue Tsun Takashi, but Tsun Takashi is unwilling to submit to Sun Rong, forcing Sun Rong to show him who's boss. This Sun Rong is becoming more and more overbearing. He actually dared to attack the geniuses of the sect in such an open and above-board manner. This is also something that can't be helped. With progenitor Sun Rong's Sky Realm cultivation, even if everyone is displeased in their hearts, they wouldn't dare to show it. Not only that, but now in the Tao Talisman sect, the only person whose strength can suppress Sun Rong is progenitor Sun Rong alone. Looking at the overbearing Sun Rong, everyone revealed a helpless expression and sighed emotionally. Sun Rong, stop right now. Seeing Sun Rong and Mo Qingyun fighting, Chang Yuhai revealed a nervous expression and berated Sun Rong with a gloomy expression. In Chang Yuhai's view, Tsun Takashi was the future hope of the Chang clan. How could he let Sun Rong hurt him? Seeing Chang Yuhai's anxious expression, everyone by the side revealed sympathetic faces and felt pity for the Chang clan. The Chang clan had been silent for so many years and finally produced a Tsun Takashi with outstanding talent. To think that he was actually suppressed by Sun Rong now. This kind of thing was simply too cruel to the Chang clan. Right now, killing intent was rampant in Sun Rong's heart. How could he stop attacking Mo Qingyun just because of Chang Yuhai's words? Seeing that Sun Rong acted as if he didn't hear his words, Chang Yuhai's expression became even more anxious and wanted to take action to stop Mo Qingyun and Sun Rong's battle. Progenitor Chang Yuhai, it's not too good for a senior like you to interfere in a battle between two juniors, right? At this moment, just as Chang Yuhai was about to take action, a bald old man revealed a sinister smile and blocked Chang Yuhai's path. This bald old man was one of the Sun clan's progenitors, Sun Zhu. This Sun Zhu's cultivation was about the same as Chang Yuhai. However, if they would really fight, his strength might be above Chang Yuhai's. There was no choice. After Chang Yuhai failed to break through to the Sky Realm, his body suffered a tremendous backlash, causing him to only be able to unleash 70% of his strength. Progenitor Yuhai, I can still deal with a mere Sun Rong. You could just watch from aside. Seeing Chang Yuhai's actions, Mo Qingyun revealed an indifferent smile and said to Chang Yuhai, don't worry. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chang Yuhai revealed a hesitant expression. In the end, he chose to believe in Mo Qingyun. Seeing that Chang Yuhai wasn't going to interfere in the battle, Sun Zhu revealed a gloomy expression and retreated to the side. He sneered and said, Kid, you're quite confident. With your outstanding cultivation talent, if you're allowed to grow for a few more years, you might really surpass Sun Rong. However, the current you is still lacking a little foundation. Sun Zhu's words weren't false. Mo Qingyun's cultivation was only at the mid-stage sovereign realm, while Sun Rong's cultivation was at the great circle of the ninth seal. There was a difference of 2 minor realms between the two. It was already very rare for Mo Qingyun to be able to tie with Sun Rong. Old geezer, since you don't believe me, I'll kill you. After hearing Sun Zhu's words, Mo Qingyun's gaze turned cold, and he took out a flaming halberd. Golden snake flashing halberd. After Mo Qingyun took out the halberd, he quickly stabbed it towards Sun Rong. Then, his figure disappeared. Pucci. After a while, when Mo Qingyun reappeared, the immortal burning halberd in his hand had already pierced Sun Rong's chest. When the immortal burning halberd pierced Sun Rong's chest, a terrifying wave of energy exploded and blasted into Sun Rong's body. After being stabbed by the immortal burning halberd, Sun Rong immediately let out a blood-curdling scream and his body rapidly retreated. Although Sun Rong retreated very quickly, one of his arms was still burned off by the power of the flames. After seeing this scene, everyone was shocked. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. Chang Wei really defeated Sun Rong. Moreover, he used a domineering manner to destroy one of Sun Rong's arms. Good. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, Chang Yuhai was immediately overjoyed and said the word good 3 times in a row. At this moment, he realized that he had still underestimated Mo Qingyun's strength. It turned out that Mo Qingyun's true strength had already surpassed him and was infinitely close to the sky human realm. With Mo Qingyun's cultivation talent, as long as Mo Qingyun didn't die midway, the Chang clan's glory was just around the corner. Chapter 11:57. While everyone was shocked by Mo Qingyun's strength, he continued to attack Sun Zhu with his halberd. With a sweep of his halberd, a crescent-shaped halberd radiance was sent flying towards Sun Zhu. Lad, stop! Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, Sun Zhu anxiously shouted at Mo Qingyun. As Sun Zhu's words faded, his body moved, intending to stop Mo Qingyun from attacking. Ancestor Sun Zhu, it's just a fight between 2 juniors. Isn't it unreasonable for an elder like you to intervene? Seeing Sun Zhu's reaction, Chang Yuhai revealed a carefree smile and blocked Sun Zhu's path. He had not expected Sun Zhu to encounter such a situation in such a short time. It felt so good to give Sun Zhu a taste of his own medicine. Seeing that Chang Yuhai had blocked his path, Sun Zhu was so angry that his body trembled. He pointed at Chang Yuhai and was speechless. There was nothing he could do about it. His current situation could be considered as his own doing. Who asked him to stop Chang Yuhai just now? People of the Chang clan, it seems like I've been too kind to you. A cold voice was heard. Then, everyone saw a human-shaped shadow appear in the sky above the combat ring. After seeing this figure, the onlookers around the life and death ring immediately revealed a terrified expression. The figure was the ancestor of the Sun clan, Sun Mang, a sky human realm expert. Greetings, Ancestor Sun Mang. Seeing Sun Mang's telekinesis projection appear, everyone showed a respectful expression and quickly bowed to Sun Mang. When everyone saluted Sun Mang, Chang Yuhai's expression turned serious. He didn't think that Sun Mang would be so excited. If Sun Mang got involved, it wouldn't be a good thing for them. Ancestor Sun Mang. Sun Zhu was ecstatic when he saw Sun Mang's mind energy projection. He shouted coldly at Chang Yuhai, Chang Yuhai, get out of my way. Let me deal with this bastard from the Chang clan. Chang Yuhai couldn't help but frown when he heard Sun Zhu's words. His face revealed a hesitant expression. Although he wanted to stop Sun Zhu, he was worried that his action would cause Sun Mang to get involved. If Sun Mang wanted to deal with Mo Qingyun, given Mo Qingyun's current strength, he would not be a match for Sun Mang. However, Chang Yuhai was not willing to let Sun Zhu deal with Mo Qingyun. Pucci. While Chang Yuhai was hesitating, Mo Qingyun's immortal burning battle halberd piercing Sun Rong's chest. Boom! The halberd pierced through Sun Rong's chest. An astonishing flame power erupted from the immortal burning halberd, instantly incinerating Sun Rong's body. As Sun Rong's body was incinerated by the flames, a gray mist-like object flew out from his head. Rong. When Sun Zhu and Sun Mang saw that Sun Rong's body had been destroyed, they were shocked. Their faces were filled with concern and anger. Chang Wei was too arrogant. He had destroyed Sun Rong's body when the two of them had shouted at him. Immediately after, Sun Mang revealed a gloomy expression and scolded Mo Qingyun coldly. Kid, stop. However, Mo Qingyun chose to ignore Sun Mang's order. He raised his hand and took out a black and white gourd. Yin Yang Mother-Child gourd, collect. After taking out the yin-yang mother-child gourd, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated. He raised his hand and formed a hand seal before pointing at the yin-yang mother-child gourd. Then, the yin-yang mother-child gourd shone brightly and released a black mist that quickly swallowed Sun Rong's soul. After the black mist had swallowed Sun Rong's soul, he shrank and returned to the yin-yang mother-child gourd. When the surrounding people saw Mo Qingyun's action, they were stunned. They were extremely impressed by Mo Qingyun's courage. Chang Wei was really bold. He dared to collect Sun Rong's soul in the face of Sun Mang, a celestial realm elite. He was provoking a celestial realm elite. Chang Wei is really bold. He didn't even give face to ancestor Sun Mang. I guess Chang Wei is planning to use Sun Rong's soul as a life-saving talisman. That should be the case. If ancestor Sun Mang cares about Sun Rong's life, he wouldn't dare to attack Mo Qingyun. When the surrounding people saw Mo Qingyun's action, they were shocked. They were silently guessing what Mo Qingyun was planning to do. While everyone was shocked by Mo Qingyun's plan, Sun Mang's psychic projection's expression turned ferocious. He said angrily, "Damn brat. Since you don't know how to appreciate my kindness, I'll wipe out your Chang clan." After Sun Mang's psychic projection finished speaking, he stopped talking nonsense with Mo Qingyun and directly attacked Mo Qingyun. Then, Sun Mang's psychic projection in the air blasted a palm at Mo Qingyun. Bang! 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 Under Sun Mang's psychic projection's palm, the space above the combat ring shattered. It was as if it couldn't withstand Sun Mang's psychic projection's attack. However, Mo Qingyun didn't show any fear in the face of Sun Mang's psychic projection's attack. Instead, he said proudly, "You're just a psychic projection. How dare you behave so atrociously here? Do you really think you're a celestial realm elite?" Immortal Incineration Halberd. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and attacked Sun Mang's psychic projection with his halberd. Under Mo Qingyun's halberd attack, an astonishing power of the law of fire once again erupted from the immortal immolating halberd. Under the impact of the law of fire, Sun Mang's psychic shadow immediately trembled, as if it couldn't withstand Mo Qingyun's halberd attack. Bang, bang, bang. The palm shadow and the halberd light collided in the air, causing an earth-shattering explosion that shook heaven and earth. Then, a terrifying shockwave from the battle swept towards the surroundings of the combat ring. Faced with the shockwave from the battle, the surrounding crowd's expression changed drastically. They quickly retreated to the back of the combat ring. Violent, scorching sun. While everyone was retreating, Mo Qingyun used the first move of the Celestial Fury technique to block the shockwave from the battle. As the flame shield formed around Mo Qingyun's body, the shockwave from the battle was immediately blocked. It couldn't go any further than 3 meters away from Mo Qingyun. After blocking the shockwave from the battle, Mo Qingyun moved and attacked Sun Mang's shadow. Sun Mang's psychic projection was already on the verge of collapse under the impact of the battle. Now that it was attacked by Mo Qingyun, it quickly became flustered. Poochie. After a while, under Mo Qingyun's domineering attack, Sun Mang's psychic projection was penetrated by the immortal immolating halberd. Chapter 1158. Kid, when I come out of seclusion, I'll tear you into a million pieces. Before Sun Mang's mental projection dissipated, he had a ferocious expression as he gritted his teeth and roared. Everyone was shocked when they saw Sun Mang's mental projection dissipating. They could not believe that it was real. With Sun Ming's Deva realm cultivation, the telekinesis projection he condensed was actually defeated by Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun's strength was a little too terrifying. Forefather Sun Mang's telekinesis projection was defeated by Sun Takashi. Chang Wei is really bold. He even dared to defeat Sun Mang's mental projection. If that's the case, there's no room for negotiation between Chang Wei and Sun Mang. However, I wonder who will have the last laugh in the battle between Chang Wei and Sun Mang. Everyone was shocked when they saw Sun Mang's mental projection being defeated. They were looking forward to the battle between Mo Qingyun and Chang Wei. While everyone was shocked, Mo Qingyun looked at Sun Zhu with a cold expression. He exuded a strong, murderous aura. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, everyone's expression couldn't help but change as a bold idea appeared in their minds. Was Mo Qingyun going to kill Sun Zhu? While everyone was looking at Sun Zhu was terrified. He looked at Mo Qingyun and said, Chang Wei, what are you trying to do? Sun Zhu was scared. He saw how Mo Qingyun destroyed Sun Rong's physical body and soul in a domineering manner. Then, he defeated Sun Mang's mental projection. Right now, Sun Zhu didn't dare to suspect Mo Qingyun. He wouldn't kill him. More importantly, Sun Rong, who was stronger than him, had been killed by Mo Qingyun. Didn't that mean that he had even less hope of survival? Of course, I'm going to kill you. Mo Qingyun sneered when he heard Sun Zhu's fearful words. He said coldly, I've already killed Sun Rong. It doesn't matter if I kill a few more. Everyone's face twitched when they heard Mo Qingyun's words. They respected Mo Qingyun even more. Chang Wei is ruthless. He's going to destroy the Sun family's foundation. With Chang Wei's ruthless methods, he would have been extraordinary in the future if he hadn't died halfway. The Sun family is really unlucky to have offended such a ferocious person like Chang Wei. He doesn't even respect Sun Mang, a Sky Realm expert. But then again, Chang Wei is really strong. Even Sun Rong is no match for him. Seeing Mo Qingyun's performance, the reverence in everyone's hearts for him unconsciously increased by several degrees. Under everyone's gaze, Mo Qingyun's figure moved and approached Sun Zhu rapidly. When Mo Qingyun approached Sun Zhu, Mo Qingyun glanced at Chang Yuhai beside him and said coldly, Ancestor Yuhai, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and kill the Sun family's junior. Kill the Sun family's junior? Chang Yuhai's heart skipped a beat when he heard Mo Qingyun's words. He instantly understood what Mo Qingyun was thinking. Mo Qingyun was going to eradicate the Sun family. After a short moment of shock, Chang Yuhai revealed a bright smile and laughed loudly. Good lad, you're really ruthless. You're worthy of being the most promising junior of our Chang family. Chang Yuhai laughed heartily. After praising Mo Qingyun, he turned to Chang Feng and the others behind him and said in a clear voice, Sons of the Chang family, join me in killing these traitors and defend the dignity of the Chang family. Yes, ancestor. Hearing Chang Yuhai's order, Chang Feng and the rest didn't dare to hesitate and immediately attacked the Sun family. Their Chang family had been oppressed by the Sun family for so many years. Now, they finally had a chance to vent their anger. Following that, the Chang family and the Sun family clashed, forming groups of various sizes. Seeing the battle between the Sun family and the Chang family, the other factions of the Tao Talisman sect hurriedly retreated far away, afraid that they would be involved in this dispute. However, there were still some factions watching and hesitating whether to join the battle or not. These factions were all dependent on the Sun family. Seeing these people watching, Chang Yuhai revealed a gloomy expression and berated them. If you're not a member of the Sun family, immediately withdraw from the life and death ring. Otherwise, don't blame us for being merciless if you're involved in the battle. Upon hearing Chang Yuhai's words, the people who were still watching immediately retreated. Their family's strength couldn't be compared to the Sun family and the Chang family. If they were involved in the battle, the consequences would be very terrible. As these people retreated from the battle, the people from the Sun clan immediately became furious. They said angrily, You cowards! How did our Sun clan nurture you in the past? How dare you abandon us now? The other factions pretended not to hear the Sun family's angry words and stayed in the distance to watch the battle between Mo Qingyun and the others. At this moment, under everyone's attention, Mo Qingyun and Sun Zhu stood together and suppressed Sun Zhu. Golden Snake flashing halberd. Seeing that Sun Zhu was suppressed, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and stabbed at Sun Zhu with the immortal burning halberd. Then, Mo Qingyun's figure turned into a golden light and disappeared in front of Sun Zhu's eyes. It's this divine ability again. When he saw Mo Qingyun's figure disappear, Sun Ju's face twitched and a sense of panic rose in his heart. Just now, he had clearly seen that Sun Rong had been instantly killed by Mo Qingyun's halberd, mysterious ice golden shield. When he thought about the power of Mo Qingyun's halberd, Sun Ju didn't dare hesitate and hurriedly used his strongest defensive technique. Then, the two perfect nomological powers of metal and water condensed rapidly in front of Sun Ju and formed a golden-blue shield. Bang! When the golden-blue shield formed, the immortal burning halberd collided with it and made a loud sound. Following this loud explosion, a terrifying Yuan power storm frantically swept out in all directions. As the Yuan energy storm raged, the immortal burning halberd and the golden-blue shield entered a stalemate. Neither of them could advance an inch. When he saw that he had blocked Mo Qingyun's halberd, Sun Ju smiled proudly and said, "Haha, I blocked it. I blocked it. I blocked your strongest attack. Sun Takashi, your strongest attack has been blocked by me. I'd like to see what else you can do next." After blocking Mo Qingyun's attack, Sun Ju smiled proudly and said self-righteously. When he saw Sun Ju's proud expression, Mo Qingyun's lips curled up and he mocked, "Is that so? Who told you that this was my strongest attack?" Chapter 1159. When Sun Ju saw the purple light in Mo Qingyun's eyes, his face twitched. He had a bad feeling about this. However, the speed of the sword light was too fast. Before Sun Ju could react, the sword light slashed across his neck. Sun Ju's eyes widened as he saw his head separated from his body and fell to the ground. Plop! Sun Ju's head fell to the ground, making a crisp sound as it rolled a few times on the ground. When Sun Ju's head rolled to the ground, a grayish mist-like object flew out of his head. It was Sun Ju's soul. After Sun Ju's soul flew out of his head, he panicked and wanted to escape from this dangerous place. He had no choice but to escape. If he did not escape now, he would not be able to escape and would follow in Sun Rong's footsteps. However, before Sun Ju could escape, Mo Qingyun took out a black and white gourd and said, "Yin Yang Mother-Child Gourd, absorb him." After Mo Qingyun said that, he formed a hand seal and pointed at the Yin Yang Mother-Child Gourd. Then, the Yin Yang Mother-Child Gourd emitted a black mist and swallowed Sun Ju's soul. After seeing this scene, the surrounding people's expressions changed drastically, revealing a shocked expression. Sun Ju was also killed by Sun Takashi. Moreover, Sun Ju died in the same way as Sun Rong. He was also absorbed into a black and white gourd by Mo Qingyun. Sun Takashi is really straightforward when he kills people. He doesn't even hesitate. How could such a person be a playboy? I won't believe it even if you beat me to death. This guy hides his strength too well. Fortunately, I did not offend him in the past. Otherwise, I would be in deep trouble. Forget it. With Sun Takashi's current status, he won't bother with small fries like us. Seeing that Sun Ju was also killed by Mo Qingyun, the surrounding people were filled with emotions. They respected Mo Qingyun even more. While the surrounding people were shocked that Mo Qingyun killed Sun Ju, the Sun family members also saw the scene of Sun Ju being killed. Forefather Sun Ju is also dead. Everyone, run for your lives. Seeing that Sun Ju was killed by Mo Qingyun, the members of the Sun family were terrified and began to panic. Then, the Sun family members lost their fighting spirit and began to flee for their lives in panic. As the people of the Sun family tried to escape, the fighting strength they displayed immediately decreased by several levels. Following that, under the pursuit of the people from the Chong family, they quickly suffered heavy casualties. Their clansmen were slain one after another, lying in pools of blood. Seeing the Sun family members being slaughtered, Chang Yuhai revealed a carefree smile. He was extremely happy. How satisfying. This was too satisfying. It had been close to 10,000 years. The Chong clan had been suppressed by the Sun clan for close to 10,000 years. Now, they could finally vent their anger. He's here. When Chang Yuhai laughed loudly, Mo Qingyun's expression suddenly turned serious. He quickly said to Chang Yuhai, "Forefather Yuhai, take the disciples of the Chang clan and retreat immediately. As for the people of the Sun clan, don't bother about them." Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chang Yuhai's expression tensed up slightly. He understood who Mo Qingyun was referring to. Then, Chang Yuhai led the juniors of the Chang clan and quickly retreated to the periphery of the life and death ring. Soon, a figure with disheveled hair and a ferocious expression flew towards the life and death ring. This figure was the forefather of the Sun clan, Sun Mang. "Little bastard, how dare you kill the people of the Sun clan one after another? This old man will skin you alive and pull out your tendons." When Sun Mang flew closer, he shook his head with a ferocious expression and roared angrily at Mo Qingyun. As Sun Man continued to approach, an extremely terrifying aura also rapidly approached from afar. Bang, bang, bang. Under the shroud and pressure of this aura, the house that was shrouded and covered by it was instantly turned into a mess and ruins. As for the disciples who were struck by his aura, they were all sent flying, each of them spitting out blood. When he saw Sun Mang approaching him, Mo Qingyun's expression turned serious. He moved towards Sun Mang. Sealed door. When Mo Qingyun attacked Sun Mang, he didn't dare to hesitate at all. He directly used his martial soul ability against Sun Mang. Then, a mini version of the light gate was formed and blasted towards Sun Mang at an extremely fast speed. The sealed door's flying speed was extremely fast. Coupled with the fact that it looked ordinary, it was easy for people to disdain it. Therefore, before Sun Man could notice the sealed door had already entered his body. As the sealed door slammed into Sun Mang's body, the aura that Sun Mang exuded became much weaker. At the same time, Sun Mang's expression turned into one of fear. He looked at Mo Qingyun and said in shock, Kid, what did you do to me?" At this moment, Sun Man's face was filled with shock. His cultivation level was also rapidly weakening. Soon, it had fallen to the peak of the 9th seal level. Sun Mang couldn't help but be afraid when faced with such a situation. The reason why the Chang clan could suppress the other clans was because of some unknown dark methods. More importantly, the Sun clan had produced several sky humans. This made the other clans not dare to act rashly. Without the sky humans, the other clans would have rebelled. They wouldn't have listened to the Sun clan's orders so obediently. Now that his cultivation had fallen out of the sky humans, the clans that they had bullied in the past would definitely rebel and leave the Chang clan's control. Sun Mang didn't want to see such a situation happen. Looking at Sun Mang's ferocious expression, Mo Qingyun's expression remained indifferent. His body exuded a strong fighting spirit. Ever since he started cultivating, he had never seen a celestial realm powerhouse, much less fought with one. Now that Sun Mang had appeared, Mo Qingyun was naturally excited. He wanted to compete with him. "Do I need to answer your question?" Mo Qingyun curled his lips indifferently at Sun Mang's cold words. He didn't take his words seriously at all. Wild scorching sun. After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he no longer hesitated. His figure moved and charged towards Sun Mang. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, it would be easier to win if he made the first move against an expert like Sun Mang. Then, a blue flame shield formed rapidly outside Mo Qingyun's body. It emitted a terrifying heat wave. In the face of this heat wave, even a celestial expert like Sun Mang was unable to bear it. This kid's law of fire is terrifying. The temperature has reached such a level. Sensing the heat emitted by the flame shield, Sun Mang was shocked. He valued Mo Qingyun even more. This kid was not simple. He wasn't someone he could easily deal with. Chapter 1160. After all, Sun Mang was a celestial realm expert. Even if he had only survived the first tribulation, his strength was not something a talisman overlord could compare to. Celestial golden body. Faced with the erosion of the law of fire, Sun Mang did not dare to hold back and used a technique unique to first-stage celestial realm experts. There were a total of 5 immortal tribulations in the celestial realm. After each immortal tribulation, one would obtain a powerful divine ability. For example, the celestial golden body that Sun Mang was using now was a powerful divine ability obtained after passing the first tribulation of the celestial realm. When Sun Mang used the celestial golden body, his body emitted a golden light to resist the impact and erosion of the law of fire. Oomph. You're too naive if you think you can hurt me with a mere law of fire. After using the celestial golden body to resist the law of fire, Sun Mang's expression was cold and arrogant as he spoke disdainfully. After Sun Mang finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and began to counterattack Mo Qingyun. Immortal technique, Thunder Summoning Curse. Under Sun Mang's attack, the sky above the Tao Talisman sect changed color and dark clouds gathered. Under the cover of these dark clouds, the light in the Tao Talisman sect dimmed. Boom! Soon, a silver lightning bolt as thick as a wrist blasted out of the dark clouds in the sky with a deafening boom. The silver lightning bolt descended at an extremely fast speed. Before Mo Qingyun could react, it struck Mo Qingyun squarely. After the silver lightning struck Mo Qingyun, it suddenly shone so brightly that the surrounding people could not open their eyes. At the same time, after the silver lightning struck Mo Qingyun, it also swallowed Mo Qingyun. Kid, you think you can fight me? You're overestimating yourself. Sun Mang laughed loudly when he saw Mo Qingyun being swallowed by the silver lightning. He said smugly, "You'll die a worthy death if you can witness the ancient immortal technique, Thunder Summoning Curse, before you die." After Sun Mang said this, the surrounding people's expressions changed drastically. Their eyes were filled with shock and fear. Immortal technique. The technique that Sun Mang had just used was an ancient immortal technique. This was beyond everyone's expectations. However, Sun Mang was able to summon the heavenly lightning to deal with Mo Qingyun in a split second. Only an immortal technique could do such a thing. Patriarch Sun Mang is worthy of being a celestial realm powerhouse. He can't use an ancient immortal technique. This technique is too terrifying. Fortunately, we did not provoke Sun Mang old ancestor. Otherwise, we would have ended up like Sun Takashi. Fong. It wasn't easy for the Chong clan to produce a genius, but he died just like that. It's such a pity. In order to prevent something like this from happening again, Patriarch Sun Mang will probably kill one as a warning to the rest and wipe out the Chong family. In the face of Sun Mang's powerful attacks, the surrounding people all revealed terrified expressions and felt sympathy for the Chong clan. In their opinion, after Sun Mang killed Mo Qingyun, he would definitely wipe out the Chong clan with a thunderous force. Away. Seeing Mo Qingyun being engulfed by the silver lightning, Chang Yuhai's old face revealed an expression of grief and indignation. His eyes became somewhat bloodshot. Was the Chong clan's only prodigy in the past 10,000 years going to die, just like that? To Chang Yuhai, this kind of thing was really too cruel. At this moment, while everyone was sighing with emotion, thinking that Mo Qingyun was dead for sure, an indifferent voice came from the silver lightning. "I say, old ghost of the sun family, are you so sure that a trifling heavenly lightning can kill me?" After Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he stretched his arm and destroyed the silver lightning that surrounded him. The silver lightning dissipated, and Mo Qingyun's figure appeared before everyone again. He emitted an even stronger aura. After Mo Qingyun was struck by the silver lightning, his physical body had been tempered by the heavenly lightning and improved again. Mo Qingyun's physical body was now at the level of a mid-grade king artifact. It was at least several times stronger than before. Mo Qingyun didn't die. He didn't die after being struck by the heavenly lightning. Looking at Mo Qingyun who appeared before them, everyone's eyes widened. They felt that the scene before them was too surreal. This was a heavenly lightning summoned by an immortal technique. Mo Qingyun was struck by it, but he was completely fine. Strange, this was too strange. How? How is this possible? With your mortal body, How can you withstand the heavenly lightning? Looking at Mo Qingyun, who was unharmed, Sun Meng was shocked. He couldn't accept the scene before him. He was very clear about the power of the immortal technique, lightning guiding spell. With the power of the immortal technique, lightning guiding spell, even if he used his celestial golden body to block it, he would still be injured. When he used his celestial golden body, his physical body was as strong as a spirit artifact. Could it be that Mo Qingyun's physical body was as strong as a spirit artifact? Was this possible? Immortal technique, 5-blow thunderstruck. Seeing that his previous attack didn't hurt Mo Qingyun, Sun Meng was in disbelief. He attacked Mo Qingyun again. This time, Sun Meng's attack was even more domineering than before. Its power was also several times stronger. Boom, boom, boom. Soon, the dark clouds above the Tao Talisman sect became denser, and the power it emitted was even more terrifying. Boom, boom, boom. 5 silver lightning bolts that were as thick as thighs shot toward Mo Qingyun at an extremely fast speed. They emitted a terrifying power that could destroy heaven and earth. Faced with the 5 bolts of lightning, Mo Qingyun still did not try to dodge. He allowed them to strike him as they wished. Soon, Mo Qingyun was struck by the 5 heavenly lightning bolts and was engulfed by the lightning. Boy, you dare not dodge the attack of the immortal technique, 5-blow thunderstruck. I think you're really tired of living. Seeing that Mo Qingyun still didn't dodge and allowed the 5 heavenly lightning bolts to strike him, Sun Meng smiled and said, "I'm afraid you don't know, right? The power of the 5-blow thunderstruck isn't as simple as stacking the power of 5 heavenly lightning bolts. It's equivalent to 10 times the power of the lightning guiding spell. 10 times the power." Hearing Sun Meng's words, the expressions of Chang Yuhai and the others trembled, and they were filled with intense fear. The single heavenly lightning bolt earlier was enough to kill a talisman overlord who was at the peak of the 9th seal. Now that the heavenly lightning's power had multiplied by 10 times, how terrifying would it be? However, what happened next made everyone's jaws drop. At this moment, everyone was filled with shock and worried for Mo Qingyun. Is that so? I don't think so. Mo Qingyun's voice came from the lightning bolt. His tone was still as relaxed as before, and there was even a hint of regret in his voice as he said, "What a pity. The heavenly lightning's power is too weak. Otherwise, it would be more comfortable." The heavenly lightning's power is too weak? Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, everyone was completely speechless and wanted nothing more than to beat Mo Qingyun up. Chapter 1161. Compared to the shock of the others, Sun Man was more terrified. He was terrified of Mo Qingyun's performance. He knew better than anyone else how powerful the 5-blow thunderstruck was. It was a technique that could kill an immortal. Although the 5-blow thunderstruck that he had just displayed was only at the initial stage and could not display the full power of the 5-blow thunderstruck, it was still very powerful. Even so, the 5-blow thunderstruck he had just used was enough to severely injure a 2nd-level immortal. However, Mo Qingyun, a 9th seal mid-level symbol overlord, was still completely unscathed in the face of the 5-blow thunderstruck. This was simply too strange. Physical body, it must be because this kid's physical body is shockingly strong. After a brief moment of shock, Sun Man's expression trembled. He looked at Mo Qingyun in horror and asked, how strong is your physical body?" Although Sun Man did not believe that Mo Qingyun's physical body could be stronger than his immortal golden body, he could not find a more reasonable explanation other than this possibility. "If you want to know my physical body strength, you can continue using the heavenly thunder to test it." Mo Qingyun shrugged his shoulders in response to Sun Man's words, as if saying, "Do as you see fit." Mo Qingyun had done this to anger Sun Man, so that he would continue using the 5-blow thunderstruck to help him temper his physical body. Under the tempering of Sun Man's 5-blow thunderstruck, Mo Qingyun discovered that his physical body strength had increased at an unprecedented rate. "Kid, don't be so arrogant. You may be able to withstand the 5-blow thunderstruck once, but I don't believe you can withstand it endlessly. Under Mo Qingyun's provocation, Sun Man's expression darkened. He once again used the 5-blow thunderstruck on Mo Qingyun. Then, dark clouds gathered in the sky above the Tao Talisman sect once again, exuding a terrifying aura. Boom, 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 another 5 bolts of silver lightning struck down. With an earth-shattering momentum, they bombarded Mo Qingyun in an overbearing manner. In the face of these 5 bolts of silver lightning, Mo Qingyun remained calm and allowed them to strike his body. A moment later, the silver lightning dissipated. Mo Qingyun was still unscathed and had a look of enjoyment on his face. After seeing this scene, the surrounding people were dumbfounded, and their mood became extremely gloomy. They were all humans, but why was the difference between them so great? Soon Takashi could not even be struck to death by lightning. This kid, why didn't he say so earlier? He made me worry for half a day. Seeing Mo Qingyun's expression of enjoyment, Chang Yuhai revealed a depressed expression. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry as he said, "Once this matter is resolved, this old master will definitely spank his, and let him know the consequences of causing everyone to worry." Hearing Chang Yuhai's words, the surrounding people immediately revealed bitter smiles. They were quite shocked by Chang Yuhai's words. Spanking Tsun Takashi's butt? Only Chang Yuhai could think of that. Putting aside whether he could defeat Tsun Takashi, even if he could, what would the result be? Tsun Takashi's but could not even be struck by lightning. With Chang Yuhai's physical body, could he really hurt his butt? Hearing Chang Yuhai's words, Chang Feng had an awkward expression and whispered in Chang Yuhai's ear, "Ancestor Yuhai, there are many other disciples around. What you said will make Tsun Takashi lose face in the future." Lose face? Chang Yuhai smiled happily at Chang Feng's words of concern. He said, "I think that Chang Wei is just asking for a beating. His strength has clearly reached an unimaginable level, yet he insists on hiding it and not revealing it. He has fooled us all so much. He really deserves a beating. Also, I finally understand why this kid is collecting immortal stones. His strength is already comparable to the heaven realm." In Chang Yuhai's opinion, with Mo Qingyun's strength that was comparable to the heaven realm, it was indeed time for him to try his luck. After Chang Yuhai and Luo Yunyang exchanged a few words, they turned to look at Mo Qingyun again. When they looked at Mo Qingyun, they were so shocked that their jaws dropped to the ground. Mo Qingyun was lying on the ground leisurely, allowing the heavenly lightning to strike him. It was as if he was enjoying the massage of the heavenly lightning. On the other hand, Sun Man, who was attacking, was like an old bull. He kept forming hand seals to trigger the lightning to strike Mo Qingyun. Every time he used the 5-blow thunderstruck, Sun Man's face would turn a shade paler. It was as if he could not take it anymore. Everyone smiled bitterly when they saw this scene. They felt some sympathy for Sun Man. What kind of world was this? Sun Man was a heaven-tier powerhouse, but he had exhausted himself to death by using an immortal technique against a 9th seal cultivator. On the other hand, his opponent was lying on the ground leisurely, enjoying his massage. Was there any justice in this? If someone who did not know the whole story saw this scene, they might think that Mo Qingyun and Sun Man were acting. It cannot be helped. The scene in front of everyone was too fake. Puff! After a while, Sun Man used the 5-blow thunderstruck again. He spat out a mouthful of blood, and his face turned as pale as a sheet. Judging from his appearance, it seemed that he had used too much of his soul power because of the excessive use of the 5-blow thunderstruck. He was suffering from the backlash of the technique. Seeing this, everyone was speechless. They sympathized with Sun Man. Sun Man had committed so many sins in his previous life to meet a freak like Mo Qingyun in this life. Now, he was being tortured alive. Otherwise, how could he, a heaven realm expert who had mastered an immortal technique, end up in such a sorry state? Seeing that Sun Man was so tired that he spat out blood, Mo Qingyun stood up in disappointment. He looked at Sun Man and shook his head. "It would be great if you could summon the 9 heavens profound lightning. One lightning against 9, its power would be even more shocking. That way, it would be even more comfortable for me. Seeing that his body had reached the peak of the late king artifact realm and was only a step away from the ultimate king artifact realm, Mo Qingyun was disappointed. If his body could reach the ultimate king artifact realm, his strength would definitely multiply. However, after a brief moment of disappointment, Mo Qingyun did not think too much about it. In any case, in just 2 hours, his body had increased by a small level. This was already a very heaven-defying gain. Since you're done, it's my turn. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he no longer hesitated and charged at Sunman. Mo Qingyun's speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, he was in front of Sunman and punched at him. After Mo Qingyun punched out, his body emitted the aura of a king artifact, which intimidated Sunman. King artifact. Your body has reached the level of a king artifact. Under Mo Qingyun's attack, Sunman was shocked. He knew how strong Mo Qingyun's body was. Chapter 1162. The Sky-Breaking Flaming Halberd. Mo Qingyun chose to ignore Sun Mang's shocked expression and brandished the immortal immolating halberd to attack him. As Mo Qingyun brandished the immortal immolating halberd, a flaming dragon halberd light, which carried an astonishing power of a law of fire, shot towards Sun Mang. Kid, although your physical body is astonishingly strong, I don't believe that your internal organs are as strong as your physical body. Sun Mang's expression darkened as he faced Mo Qingyun's overbearing attack. He bombarded the flaming dragon halberd that was attacking him. Immortal technique, lightning palm. As Sun Mang brandished his palm, lightning surged in his palm and turned into a silver lightning snake that shot towards Mo Qingyun's chest. The silver snake was extremely fast. Furthermore, Mo Qingyun was very close to Sun Mang, and Mo Qingyun was still flying towards Sun Mang. As a result, it became even more difficult for Mo Qingyun to dodge. He could only take the attack of the lightning snake head-on. I can't dodge it. Mo Qingyun was shocked when he saw that the lightning snake had arrived within 100 meters of him in the blink of an eye. However, after a short moment of shock, Mo Qingyun's expression calmed down. He had a clear plan in his mind. Since I can't block it, I'll just fight it head-on. I have the immemorial bloodline in my body. Even if my physical body is damaged, I can recover in a short period of time. Sun Mang doesn't have this ability. Kill him. As soon as this thought appeared in Mo Qingyun's mind, he no longer hesitated and charged towards the lightning snake. As Mo Qingyun charged towards the lightning snake, he also brandished the immortal immolating halberd in his hand and stabbed it towards Sun Mang. As Mo Qingyun's right hand stabbed out with the immortal immolating halberd, his left hand didn't stay idle either. He blasted a few fingers towards Sun Mang. Suddenly, a flaming halberd light rushed towards Sun Mang like a dragon coming out of its cave. Around this fire dragon halberd radiance, there were 3 other sharp finger radiances that shot towards Sun Mang at an extremely fast speed, blocking Sun Mang's path of retreat. Sun Mang's expression changed drastically when he saw this. He hadn't expected Mo Qingyun to make such a move. In his mind, he thought that Mo Qingyun would choose to dodge the lightning palm's attack. However, Mo Qingyun had actually made a move to fight with Sun Mang, and this was beyond his expectations. It had to be said, Mo Qingyun was really crazy. One wrong step could lead to 10,000 wrong steps. Due to his misjudgment of Mo Qingyun's actions, Sun Mang immediately lost the initiative and initiative. Sun Mang's descends bang bang. Bang 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 bang. Bang bang. In an instant, Mo Qingyun and Sun Mang's bodies were bombarded, and they were blasted away. When Mo Qingyun was sent flying by the lightning snake, his expression turned gloomy. His eyes flashed with a cold light as he shouted angrily, Mo, come out. Under Mo Qingyun's summon, a youth with 3 eyes appeared behind Sun Mang. Mo was summoned by Mo Qingyun. Without any hesitation, he activated the demonic eye between his eyebrows and shot a beam of eye power at Sun Mang. Whoosh! A beam of eye power that emitted a surging demonic aura shot out from the demonic eye between Mo's eyebrows and shot towards Sun Mang with extreme speed. The beam of eye power was too fast, and Mo's attack caught Sun Mang off guard. Before he could react, the beam of eye power had already hit him. Pucci! When the beam of eye power hit Sun Mang's body, it directly pierced through his chest and caused irreparable damage to his internal organs. Sun Mang had been hit by a few finger lights and was already heavily injured. Now that he was hit by the beam of eye power, it could be said that his injuries had worsened. Pucci! Sun Mang immediately felt a sweet taste in his throat and spat out a large mouthful of blood. His face became extremely pale and his aura became much weaker. Of course, what shocked Sun Mang even more was the three-eyed youth behind him. This youth was actually 90% similar to Mo Qingyun. In order to not expose his identity, when Mo Qingyun summoned Mo, he had changed Mo's appearance. Since Mo was only Mo Qingyun's avatar, his appearance wasn't fixed. It was very easy for him to change it. After discovering this, Sun Mang immediately guessed the origins of the three-eyed youth. He couldn't help but exclaim, "Avatar? I didn't expect you to have cultivated an avatar." At this moment, Sun Mang's face was filled with shock. The surrounding people also noticed Mo's existence, and they all revealed shocked expressions. Who is that three-eyed youth? Why does he look so similar to Tsun Takashi? Could he be Tsun Takashi's twin brother? But why haven't I heard of him before? No, you're all wrong. That three-eyed youth is Tsun Takashi's avatar. I didn't expect him to have cultivated an avatar. Avatar? This Tsun Takashi is getting more and more mysterious. Looks like we've underestimated him. For the Chang family to have such a junior, it's really a great fortune. Looking at Mo behind Sun Mang, the respect that everyone had for Mo Qingyun immediately rose to a whole new level. Good kid. You've really made me proud. While everyone was lamenting, Chang Yuhai suddenly burst out laughing. His face was filled with excitement. If Mo Qingyun wasn't fighting with Sun Mang, he might have pounced on Mo Qingyun and kissed him a few times. This kid did a great job. Then, under everyone's gaze, Mo Qingyun and Mo charged at Sun Mang again. Sun Mang, who had been severely injured twice in a row, was at the end of his rope. He was like a toothless tiger. On top of that, Mo Qingyun had been fighting him with his life on the line. This made him feel that his hands and feet were tied. Not only that, when he was fighting with Mo Qingyun, Mo was constantly shooting rays at him. This gave him a headache. Sun Mang had no choice but to give up on attacking and focus on blocking Mo Qingyun and Mo's attacks. However, as time passed, Sun Mang became more and more powerless. Pucci! A moment later, Sun Mang was hit by the eye power beam again. The eye power beam pierced through his head. Sun Mang's head was pierced through by the ray. His mind was instantly destroyed, and he suffered a fatal blow. With his head pierced and his mind injured, Sun Mang had no choice but to abandon his body and escape. He said angrily, "Kid, I'll remember this." Mo Qingyun had expected that Sun Mang would abandon his body to escape. How could he let him escape? Yin-Yang Mother-Child Gourd collect. As soon as Sun Mang's soul left his body, Mo Qingyun activated the Yin-Yang Mother-Child Gourd to collect his soul. Chapter 1163. Sun Mang was also destroyed. Everyone was stunned as they watched Sun Mang's soul shrink bit by bit. They felt that this scene was too unreal. Sun Mang's cultivation was at the heavenly human stage, and he had 1 foot in the immortal stage. Mo Qingyun, who was only at the middle stage of the Ninth Seal realm, had actually destroyed such a powerful existence. This performance was simply too shocking. Subsequently, Mo Qingyun slowly flew towards Chang Yuhai and the rest under everyone's gaze. Seeing Mo Qingyun flying towards Chang Yuhai and the others, the surrounding people all revealed expressions of awe and reverence as they all made way for Mo Qingyun. Ancestor Yuhai, Sect Master, Elders, please follow me to the Great Meeting Hall. I have something to announce in a while. After arriving in front of Chang Yuhai and the rest, Mo Qingyun instructed them before flying towards the Great Meeting Hall. When they saw Mo Qingyun's actions, Chang Yuhai and the rest did not hesitate and followed behind Mo Qingyun. A moment later, in the Tao Talisman Sect's Great Meeting Hall, everyone arrived in the Great Meeting Hall. Chang Yuhai and the rest found a place to sit and waited for Mo Qingyun to speak with a solemn expression. Everyone, I've gathered all of you here mainly because I have a few things to tell you. After sweeping his gaze across everyone in the Great Meeting Hall, Mo Qingyun revealed a solemn expression and briefly explained his plans. He then said to Li Lulin, Sect Master, I would like to ask where you have imprisoned a disciple called Hejilan. Hejilan? When he heard Mo Qingyun's words, Li Lulin's expression could not help but tremble, and a trace of worry appeared between his brows. In his opinion, Mo Qingyun's current attitude was probably to stand up for Hejilan. After a moment of silence, Li Lulin revealed a respectful expression and said, Hejilan is currently under house arrest in the Tao Purity Palace. If you want to see her, I will immediately send someone to bring her over. Tao Purity Palace? Mo Qingyun raised his eyebrows. The Tao Purity Palace was a place for cultivation in the Tao Talisman sect. He did not expect Li Lulin to imprison Hejilan there. However, Li Lulin probably did not imprison Hejilan there for her cultivation. Instead, he wanted to use the Tao Purity Palace's tight security to prevent anyone from rescuing Hejilan. In Mo Qingyun's memories, there were two powerhouses with peak 9 seals cultivation in the Tao Purity Palace. Clan Brother Chong Feng, please go to the Tao Purity Palace and bring junior sister Hejilan. After finding out where Hejilan was imprisoned, Mo Qingyun didn't hesitate any longer and instructed Chong Feng to bring Hejilan over. Compared to the people sent by Li Lulin, Mo Qingyun trusted Chong Feng more. He felt that Chong Feng was more reliable. Yes. After receiving Mo Qingyun's instructions, Chongfen stood up and left the meeting hall. After Chong Feng left the meeting hall, Mo Qingyun began to ask Li Lulin and the others about the Tao Talisman sect. After some questioning, Mo Qingyun realized that the Tao Talisman sect's foundation was not simple. In the Tao Talisman sect, there were actually 5 peak 9 seals symbol overlords. 2 of them were from the Chong clan, 1 from the Li clan, and 1 from the Ming clan. As for ordinary 9 seals symbol overlords, there were actually more than 100 of them. This number was truly terrifying. A 9th seal talisman overlord was comparable to a sovereign realm expert. One had to know that not long ago, the Heavenly Soul Continent did not even have a single sovereign realm expert. Now, the Tao Talisman sect alone had more than 109 seals symbol overlords. The difference between the two was simply too great. At this moment, Mo Qingyun could not help but rejoice. Fortunately, the Ghost Path and Demon Path did not invade the Heavenly Soul Continent in full force. Otherwise, the Heavenly Soul Continent would have been destroyed long ago. However, after pondering for a moment, Mo Qingyun felt relieved. After all, the Heavenly Soul Continent was a low-level cultivation space. Cultivation resources were extremely scarce. In the eyes of the 7 ancient paths, it was not that important. The reason why the Ghost Path and Demon Path invaded the Heavenly Soul Continent was most likely because of the 100 Transformations Demon Child and the Ghost Moon Sanus. After knowing the strength of the Tao Talisman sect, Mo Qingyun's expression turned solemn. He asked Chang Yuhai and the others, Everyone, what is the strength of the other great immortal sects? Hearing Mo Qingyun ask about the strength of the other great immortal sects, Chang Yuhai's expression turned solemn. He reported to Mo Qingyun, According to this old man's knowledge, the strength of the other great immortal sects should be inferior to our Tao Talisman sect. Apart from the Buddha Talisman sect, Origin Talisman sect, and Sky Demon Talisman sect, the rest of the great immortal sects do not have Heaven Realm experts. The Buddha Talisman sect, Origin Talisman sect, and Sky Demon Talisman sect may all have Heaven Realm experts. Hearing Chang Yuhai's words, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. He was surprised by the strength of the Sky Demon Talisman sect. If not for Chang Yuhai's words, he really would not have thought that the Sky Demon Talisman sect would have Heaven Realm experts. However, thinking about it, it made sense. If the Sky Demon Talisman sect did not have such an expert, how could the other 9 Great Immortal Gates be afraid of them? After calming down the shock in his heart, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and asked everyone about the strength of the other 9 Great Immortal Gates. After a series of inquiries, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of the strength of the 9 Great Immortal Gates. At this time, Chang Feng brought He Zhilan into the conference hall. Junior brother Chang Wei, junior sister He Zhilan has been brought here. After bringing He Zhilan into the conference hall, Chang Feng revealed a respectful expression and reported to Mo Qingyun. Thank you for your trouble, senior brother Chang Feng. Please take a seat. Mo Qingyun waved his hand indifferently at Chang Feng's action. He turned to look at He Zhilan and said, Junior sister Zhilan, come over here for a moment. At this moment, while Mo Qingyun was speaking, Mo Qingyun released his spiritual energy and sensed He Zhilan's body. After seeing that He Zhilan did not have any abnormalities, Mo Qingyun was completely relieved and the worry in his heart completely disappeared. Senior brother Chang Wei, what instructions do you have? Seeing Mo Qingyun sitting at the top of the conference hall, although He Zhilan had doubts in her heart, she still walked forward respectfully. Seeing He Zhilan walk in front of him, Mo Qingyun smiled faintly at her and took off the myriad transformation mask on his face. In Mo Qingyun's view, since He Zhilan had been found, there was no need for him to hide his identity. As Mo Qingyun took off the myriad transformation mask, his appearance changed bit by bit and finally returned to his original appearance. Junior brother Mo. After seeing Mo Qingyun's appearance, He Zhilan's face was instantly filled with joy and excitement. She really did not expect that Mo Qingyun would come to the Tao Talisman sect to save her. Chapter 1164. Senior Sister Zhilan, come to my side first. I'll take you back to the Mao Fu sect after I've dealt with the matters here. After revealing his identity, Mo Qingyun instructed He Zhilan before replying to Chang Yuhai and the others. Who I am is not important. What's important is that I'll give you 2 choices. One is to submit to me, and the other is to accompany the Sun family. In this world, there are always some reckless people who are willing to take the lead. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, a fierce-looking middle-aged man slammed the table and stood up. Boy, don't think you can be arrogant just because you have some strength. I, Wan Qinhuang, am not afraid of death. After the fierce-looking middle-aged man stood up, he walked to the center of the hall and confronted Mo Qingyun. Wan Qinhuang's strength was not weak. He had reached the late 9th seal symbol Overlord realm and was considered a top figure in the Tao Talisman sect. After seeing Wan Qinhuang walk out, Mo Qingyun's expression gradually turned cold. He said coldly, since you don't want to live, don't blame me, Mo Qingyun, for being ruthless. You asked for it. As soon as Mo Qingyun finished speaking, he raised his hand and stretched out his palm towards Wan Qinhuang, capturing him with an unstoppable force. Asterisk crack, crack, crack. Asterisk then, the crisp sound of bones cracking came from Wan Qinhuang's body, and his aura weakened little by little. After a few breaths, Wan Qinhuang's aura completely disappeared, and he became a dead man. Seeing Mo Qingyun decisively kill Wan Qinhuang, the surrounding people were shocked and looked at Mo Qingyun with horror. In their opinion, Mo Qingyun was still as decisive and ruthless as before. He would not show the slightest mercy when he attacked. After everyone looked at each other, Li Lulin took the lead and stood up and said respectfully, I'm willing to submit. Li Lulin's thoughts were very clear. Since Mo Qingyun knew He Zhilan, he must also know Mo Qing. Then, Mo Qingyun would most likely take revenge for Mo Qing. Although the real culprit, his son Li Liangshun, was already dead, Mo Qingyun would most likely vent his anger on him. If he did not submit to Mo Qingyun, he would definitely be killed by Mo Qingyun without any hesitation. Although he wanted to avenge Li Liangchun in front of protecting his own life, everything else was not important. For someone like him who had lived for thousands of years, he would not only have 1 or 2 children. To him, the lives of his children were far less important than his own. Open up your sea of consciousness. I want to leave a soul imprint in it. Seeing Li Lulin's performance, Mo Qingyun nodded in satisfaction and instructed Li Lulin. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, the only way to make people submit was if someone took the lead. Only then would things go smoothly. Li Lulin's actions were undoubtedly a good start, making the following progress much smoother. Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instruction, Li Lulin did not dare to hesitate and immediately opened up his sea of consciousness. Seeing that Li Lulin had opened up his sea of consciousness, Mo Qingyun did not hesitate and planted a soul imprint in his sea of consciousness. We were willing to submit as well. Seeing that Li Lulin had submitted to Mo Qingyun, the remaining elders in the hall also expressed their willingness to submit. In their opinion, since even the sect leader Li Lulin had submitted, there was no reason for them to persist. It should be known that even Sun Mang, a Heaven Realm expert, was killed by Mo Qingyun. If they did not submit, they would not even have the chance to escape. In a short while, 90% of the people in the hall were subdued by Mo Qingyun. Among the remaining 10%, a portion of them were killed by Mo Qingyun because they were unwilling to submit. The other portion was the people from the Chang clan. They were still unable to accept the fact that Chang Wei had become Mo Qingyun. Old Ancestor Yuhai, it's your turn now. Seeing that the rest of the people had submitted to him, Mo Qingyun's expression was indifferent as he turned to look at Chang Yuhai and the rest. Hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chang Yuhai was silent for a moment. He looked at Mo Qingyun with a complicated expression and asked, "I'd like to ask, where's Chang Wei now? Is he still alive?" "Chang Wei, I didn't kill him. I only locked him up in a place." Mo Qingyun did not hide the truth from Chang Yuhai. After answering Chang Yuhai, he moved Chang Wei out of the 5-directional small pagoda. After Chang Wei came out of the 5-directional small pagoda, he looked at Mo Qingyun with a dark expression and said angrily, "Brat, if you don't let me go, our Chang clan will not let you go. Dao Talisman sect will also hunt you down until you're dead." Away. After hearing Chang Wei's words, Chang Yuhai and the rest shuddered as they reprimanded Chang Wei in horror. Chang Wei was really bold and unafraid of death. He dared to be so arrogant in the face of such a terrifying existence like Mo Qingyun. He was indeed a spoiled brat. Seeing Chang Wei's reaction, Chang Yuhai was instantly disappointed as he shook his head at Chang Wei. At this moment, he was completely disappointed in Chang Wei. At the same time, he could not help but think how great it would be if Mo Qingyun became Chang Wei. However, Chang Yuhai knew very well that it was impossible for his wish to come true. "I'm willing to submit." After a short moment of silence, Chang Yuhai revealed a dejected expression as he knelt down before Mo Qingyun. Upon seeing Chang Yuhai's reaction, Sun Takashi, who wanted to continue intimidating Mo Qingyun, froze on the spot, unable to speak. Originally, he was still excited to see Chang Yuhai and the rest, and wanted them to teach Mo Qingyun a lesson. However, in the blink of an eye, Chang Yuhai had actually knelt before Mo Qingyun and was willing to submit to Mo Qingyun. This result was too big of a blow to him. After all, Chang Yuhai's cultivation was at the limit of a 9th seal amulet overlord. Could it be that Mo Qingyun was stronger than Chang Yuhai? Seeing Chang Yuhai's reaction, Mo Qingyun did not say much and directly planted a soul imprint in his sea of consciousness. A moment later, Chang Yuhai and the rest were also subdued by Mo Qingyun. "Old Ancestor Yuhai, do you have a way to remove the enslavement imprint that the seal of bestowing gate has planted in the disciples' bodies?" After subduing everyone, Mo Qingyun had a solemn expression as he asked Chang Yuhai and the others questions. "Yes." After hearing Mo Qingyun's words, Chang Yuhai and the rest hurriedly nodded, indicating that they had a way to remove the enslavement imprint. In that case, release the seal now and remove senior sister Jalan's enslavement imprint. After hearing everyone's answer, Mo Qingyun nodded in satisfaction and hurriedly instructed Chang Yuhai and the rest. Yes. Hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Chang Yuhai and the rest did not hesitate and immediately removed He Jilan's enslavement imprint. A moment later, He Jilan's enslavement imprint was removed and she regained her freedom. Chapter 1165. Seeing that He Jilan's enslavement mark had been removed, Mo Qingyun nodded his head in satisfaction. The matter of coming to Dao Talisman sect was finally resolved. However, in order to prevent information about him from being leaked out and alerting the other great sects, Mo Qingyun instructed everyone, I hope you won't tell anyone about what happened in the Dao Talisman sect. Otherwise, don't blame me for being merciless when the time comes. Yes, master. Upon hearing Mo Qingyun's instructions, Chang Yuhai and the others bowed and responded respectfully to Mo Qingyun. Good. Mo Qingyun nodded his head in satisfaction and said, Li Lulin, are there any immortal stones left in Dao Talisman sect? If there are, take them all out and hand them over to me. I'll go right away. Li Lulin nodded his head slightly and turned around to leave the conference hall. After Li Lulin left the conference hall, Mo Qingyun revealed a dignified expression and instructed everyone. About 15 minutes later, Li Lulin, who had gone to retrieve the immortal stones, returned. He walked to Mo Qingyun and handed a chinquin bag to Mo Qingyun. Master, there are 600,000 immortal stones in here. It's all the immortal stones left in Dao Talisman sect. Good. Mo Qingyun nodded his head indifferently and took the chinquin bag. He stood up and said, In that case, I'll leave Dao Talisman sect first. During this period of time, all of you will act as before and don't act rashly. Yes. Everyone nodded their heads. Senior Sister Jilan, let's go. Seeing that everything was settled, Mo Qingyun gestured to He Jilan and left Dao Talisman sect with her. After leaving Dao Talisman sect, Mo Qingyun did not return to Mao Talisman sect. Instead, he brought He Jilan to Sky Demon Talisman sect. Since Sky Demon Talisman sect was going to reopen their mountain gate, many sects would definitely be there. It was inevitable that something would happen. If he returned to Sky Demon Talisman sect, he could still help them solve some problems. At the same time, he could also get rid of some people from the 8 immortal sects. Qingyun, what's the current situation of the Mao Fu sect? Riding on Savage Beast's back, He Jilan had a worried expression and asked about the Mao Fu sect's current situation. Senior Sister Jilan, everything is fine in the Mao Fu sect. You don't have to worry about it. Mo Qingyun gave He Jilan a comforting smile before he briefly explained the current situation of the Mao Fu sect to He Jilan. After listening to Mo Qingyun's narration, He Jilan's expression became a lot more relaxed. She no longer worried about Mao Fu zone. Like this, Mo Qingyun and He Jilan continued their conversation as they walked towards the Heavenly Devil Talisman Gate. 5 days later, with Savage Beast rushing at full speed, Mo Qingyun and Lin Yiqian returned to the Sky Demon Talisman sect. Currently, the gates of the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect's Devil Cave had already been opened. Many disciples stood around the Devil Cave, each of them wearing a solemn expression as they guarded the entrance. Upon seeing this, Mo Qingyun revealed a gratified smile. He was very satisfied with the scene in front of him. It seemed like the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect's preparations for the reopening of the mountain gate were going well. Let's go in, Mo Qingyun said to He Jilan as he scanned the surroundings of the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect. Then, he walked into the Devil Cave. Soon, Mo Qingyun found Yao Honghu in the Devil Cave and asked him about the current situation of the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect. At this moment, while Mo Qingyun was talking to Yao Honghu, he noticed an old man sitting in Yao Honghu's secret chamber. His aura was restrained. Sky Human Realm. Upon seeing the old man, Mo Qingyun's expression changed. He immediately sensed the old man's cultivation base. That's right. The old man was the same as Sun Mang. Both of them had broken through to the sky human realm. Moreover, judging from the old man's aura, his strength might be above Sun Mang's. He had reached the second level of the sky human realm. Huh, you actually saw through my cultivation base. When Mo Qingyun said those shocking words, the old man was shocked. He was surprised by Mo Qingyun's performance. After the old man said those words, he looked at Mo Qingyun with admiration. He nodded and said, "Little guy, you're not bad. You're worthy of being the #1 genius of the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect in the past 10,000 years. You're really different from the rest. Thank you for your praise, senior." In response to the old man's praise, Mo Qingyun cupped his hands indifferently and replied to the old man in a neither arrogant nor impatient manner. Yao Honghu smiled happily when he saw Mo Qingyun and He Zhilan's performance. He then introduced Mo Qingyun and He Zhilan. "Qingyun, let me introduce you. This is the old ancestor Yao Lin of the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect. He's currently the #1 expert in the Immortal Road. He's a second-level sky, human realm, super expert. Greetings, old ancestor Yao Lin." After hearing Yao Honghu's introduction, Mo Qingyun knew the old man's identity and bowed respectfully to him. Regardless of whether it was for Yao Honghu's sake or Yao Lin's cultivation base, Mo Qingyun should show some respect to the other party. "Old ancestor, there's no need for me to introduce Qingyun." After introducing Mo Qingyun, Yao Honghu smiled faintly at Yao Lin. "Haha, there's no need for that. I've been hearing a lot of rumors about Qingyun recently." Yao Lin laughed and waved his hand when he heard Yao Honghu's question. He recalled what he had heard and seen these days. "Qingyun, it seems like your trip to the Dao Talisman sect went quite smoothly." Chapter 1166. After leaving Yao Honghu's secret chamber, Mo Qingyun brought He Zhilan back to his residence and sent her into the Five Directions small pagoda. "Senior Sister Zhilan, for the next period of time, you should stay here and cultivate temporarily." After sending He Zhilan into the Five Directions small pagoda, Mo Qingyun gave her some instructions and went to check on Sia's cultivation. Ever since coming to the Immortal Path, Sia had been cultivating in the Five Directions small pagoda and had never taken a step out. Soon, Mo Qingyun arrived at the place where Sia was cultivating and released his soul power to check on Sia's condition. Under Mo Qingyun's probing, his expression couldn't help but change, revealing a trace of surprise. After cultivating for a while, Sia's cultivation had improved by leaps and bounds and was close to the level of a half-venerable. After learning about Sia's condition, Mo Qingyun did not disturb her and turned to go to the second floor of the Five Directions small pagoda. When he arrived at the second floor of the Five Directions small pagoda, Mo Qingyun did not stay idle and took out some cultivation resources to distribute. Mo Zai has the ability to devour. Perhaps he can increase his cultivation by devouring other people's flesh and blood, like Qilian. When Mo Qingyun took out various cultivation resources, his eyes suddenly lit up and a bold idea came to his mind. After having this idea, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and took out Xia Yi's corpse. After taking out Xia Yi's corpse, Mo Qingyun asked Mo Zai to refine it and try to absorb its flesh and blood to increase his cultivation. Under Mo Zai's all-out devouring, Xia Yi's corpse quickly shriveled and turned into a wrinkled skin bag. After devouring Xia Yi's flesh and blood, Mo Zai focused his mind and began to refine the flesh and blood in his body. As Mo Zai refined the flesh and blood, the aura emitted from his body continued to strengthen. It really works. Sensing Mo Zai's condition, Mo Qingyun's expression immediately lit up, and he became a little excited. One had to know that he had the corpse of a celestial realm elite in his hands. If Mo Zai devoured Sun Mang's corpse, what level would her cultivation reach? The limits of Sovereign Realm? Or the first tier of the Heaven tier? Thinking of this, Mo Qingyun revealed an expression of anticipation as he took out the corpses of Sun Mang and the others. After taking out the corpses of Sun Meng and the others, Mo Qingyun stopped thinking about it and allowed Mo Zai to cultivate on her own. After arranging Mo Zai's cultivation, Mo Qingyun took out 100,000 immortal stones and gave them to Mo so that he could refine them to improve his cultivation. Now that Mo Qingyun had many immortal stones in his possession, he naturally didn't have to be as cautious as before and use them carefully. Right now, the most important thing for Mo Qingyun was to raise his cultivation base as quickly as possible. After taking out 100,000 immortal stones and giving them to Mo Qingyun began to think about his cultivation and the direction he should take in the future. Now that I've cultivated all my martial arts to their limits, it'll be difficult for me to improve them again in a short period of time. When he thought about his current mastery of several martial arts, Mo Qingyun decided not to cultivate them for the time being. He directly excluded them from his cultivation. In this way, Mo Qingyun's next cultivation direction was to improve his yuan power and soul cultivation. My yuan power cultivation has just broken through to the sovereign realm, so it'll be difficult for me to improve it again in a short period of time. Looks like I can only improve my soul cultivation. After some comparison, Mo Qingyun decided to increase his soul cultivation first. He took out the yin-yang mother-child gourd and said, "The yin-yang mother-child gourd just so happens to contain the souls of Sun Meng and the others. If I refine their souls, my soul cultivation will definitely increase greatly." With this thought in mind, Mo Qingyun no longer hesitated and began to refine the souls of Sun Meng and the others. Mo Qingyun first refined Xia Yi's soul. In comparison, his cultivation was the lowest, so his soul was easier to refine. Who are you?" When Xia Yi's soul was released by Mo Qingyun, he was terrified. He looked at Mo Qingyun and said in a panic, Why am I in your hands? Where did Chong Wei go?" "Chong Wei." Mo Qingyun only smiled coldly when he heard Xia Yi's question. He didn't answer his question. In Mo Qingyun's opinion, Xia Yi was about to become his cultivation elixir. Did he need to explain anything to him? Devouring Gate. Mo Qingyun coldly sized up Xia Yi's soul. He then used the Devouring Gate to devour and refine Xia Yi's soul. Xia Yi's soul was instantly sucked in by the Devouring Gate. It was refined and purified by the Devouring Gate. No. Xia Yi screamed in agony as his soul was refined by the Devouring Gate. His voice became weaker and weaker. Not long after, Xia Yi's screams disappeared, and he turned into pure soul energy. At the same time, two different types of energy entered Mo Qingyun's mind. When he sensed the two different types of energy entering his mind, Mo Qingyun began to refine and absorb them. After a round of refining and absorbing, Mo Qingyun realized that the two types of energy were Xia Yi's soul energy and memories. After this discovery, Mo Qingyun continued to refine Xia Yi's soul energy and fuse with Xia Yi's memories. As Mo Qingyun continued to fuse with Xia Yi's memories, Mo Qingyun had a clear understanding of Xia Yi's past. Unfortunately, these memories were not of much use to Mo Qingyun. Mo Qingyun could not help but feel a little disappointed. A few days later, under Mo Qingyun's continuous refinement, Xia Yi's soul energy was finally completely refined. Xia Yi was a late-stage ninth seal symbol overlord. After refining his soul energy, Mo Qingyun's soul cultivation improved significantly. Compared to the symbol master realm on the immortal path, Mo Qingyun's soul energy was now comparable to the peak of the ninth seal symbol overlord soul energy. Since I've refined Xia Yi's soul, it's time to refine Sun Rong's soul. Mo Qingyun could not wait to refine the fruits of his cultivation over the past few days. He immediately released Sun Rong's soul. When Sun Rong's soul was released, his reaction was similar to Xia Yi's. He questioned Mo Qingyun in shock. Mo Qingyun ignored Sun Rong's question and sucked Sun Rong's soul into the Devouring Gate without hesitation. Then, Mo Qingyun refined Sun Rong's soul energy and fused with Sun Rong's memories. After fusing with Sun Rong's memories, Mo Qingyun was shocked. He exclaimed, Sun Rong actually obtained the inheritance of the Dark Demon Clan and mastered the secret technique of the Dark Demon Clan. This is really surprising. Chapter 1167. Mo Qingyun had obtained some information about the Dark Demon race from the memories of the Heavenly Soul Demon race. It was rumored that the Dark Demon race was once one of the top 3 races on the Wasteland continent. Later on, because they did something that angered the heavens and the people, they were annihilated by the combined forces of all the major races on the Wasteland continent. In the end, they disappeared from the Wasteland continent. However, although the Dark Demon race had disappeared, there were many versions of the rumors about them circulating. Some said that the Dark Demon race had not been annihilated, but a portion of them had gone into hiding. Others said that the Dark Demon race had been completely annihilated, and their inheritance had been completely severed. Some even said that the Dark Demon race had already controlled all the major races and had become the true rulers of the Wasteland continent. In short, no matter which rumor one looked at it from, the Dark Demon race was an extremely terrifying race. In fact, the Dark Demon race's bloodline was not strong, but they had a terrifying talent, which was the ability to plunder bloodlines. They could plunder the bloodlines of other races and demonize and strengthen them, turning them into an even more powerful bloodline. In this way, any race on the Wasteland continent would become a vassal in front of them and become their bloodline cultivation base. When this was exposed, the other races naturally could not tolerate their existence and joined forces to annihilate them. No, Sun Rong is not a member of the Dark Demon race. Why can he plunder bloodlines? Recalling the information about the Dark Demon race, Mo Qingyun frowned and felt that something was wrong. He muttered to himself, could it be that when I fused with Sun Rong's memories, I lost some important information? After this thought came to mind, Mo Qingyun was immediately puzzled and carefully recalled Sun Rong's memories. However, the result was still the same. No matter how he thought, he did not get any useful information. Forget it, let's not think about it. After racking his brains to no avail, Mo Qingyun shook his head and stopped thinking about the Dark Demon race. He muttered to himself, after I go to the Wasteland continent, if I have the chance, I can go and investigate the Dark Demon race. Mo Qingyun silently planned in his heart. He abandoned his curiosity towards the Dark Demon race and continued to refine Sun Ju's soul. Sun Ju was a peak 9th seal talisman overlord. His soul was much stronger than Sun Rong's. Mo Qingyun spent almost twice as much time refining his soul. Just like that, Mo Qingyun refined Sun Ju's soul for nearly 10 days before he finally refined it. Although Mo Qingyun had spent a lot of time refining Sun Ju's soul, the increase in his soul cultivation was considerable. After refining Sun Ju's soul, Mo Qingyun's soul cultivation was now comparable to a peak 9th seal symbol dominator. After discovering this, Mo Qingyun revealed an ecstatic expression. He excitedly said, if that's the case, after I refine Sen Mang's soul, my soul cultivation might enter the heaven realm. When he thought of this, Mo Qingyun could not wait and began to refine Sen Mang's soul. Subsequently, time passed bit by bit as Mo Qingyun refined Sun Mang's soul. While Mo Qingyun was refining Sun Mang's soul, the sects that congratulated the reopening of the Sky Demon Talisman sect all came to the Sky Demon Talisman sect one after another. Among the people from these sects, there were elders from various sects, as well as juniors from various sections. When the juniors from various sects met, it was inevitable that there would be some competition and competition. They would all compete to determine the victor. The elders from various sects did not stop this. In their opinion, this would instead increase the motivation of the juniors to cultivate. Subsequently, in the next few days, the fights between the juniors from various sects continued to take place in the Sky Demon Talisman sect. However, something that Yao Honghu and the others did not expect happened in the Sky Demon Talisman sect. As time passed, the targets of the disciples from various sects all became the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect. Originally, there was nothing wrong with this, but now that the Sky Demon Talisman sect was about to reopen, it was not good for such a thing to happen. More importantly, the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect lost more than they won in the face of the challenges from various sections. Not only that, but towards the end, many of the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect were injured because of this, and their moods became depressed. The originally joyful mood of the reopening of the sect also disappeared because of this. However, the disciples from various sects who came to congratulate the Sky Demon Talisman sect did not let the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect off just like that. A bunch of trash. How can you be worthy of being called the disciples of the 10 great immortal sects? I think you should go back to the countryside and pick up dung. Don't make a fool of yourself here. In my opinion, the Sky Demon Talisman sect doesn't need to reopen the sect. It's better for all of you to hide in this cave. Also, I heard that the Sky Demon Talisman sect has a genius called Mo Qingyan. Why haven't I seen him before? What bullshit genius. I'm afraid he's cleaning the latrine. For a moment, the disciples of various sects had mocking expressions on their faces as they mocked the disciples of the Sky Demon Talisman sect. Seeing this situation, Yao Honghu and the others' hearts sank. This was not something they wanted to see. If they did not stop this, it might affect the reputation of the Sky Demon Talisman sect, which would be detrimental to their development. At this moment, in Yao Honghu's secret chamber, Honghu, don't be anxious about this matter for now. If we step in, the elders of the other sects will definitely step in. At that time, we will be in an even more passive position. Seeing that Yao Honghu was about to step in to stop this situation, Yao Lin had a solemn expression on his face. He advised Yao Honghu and said, I heard you say that Qin Yun's strength seems to be above yours. You can let him step in. Ancestor, there's something you don't know. Yao Honghu revealed a bitter expression when he heard Yao Lin mention Mo Qingyan. He shook his head and sighed. Ever since Qin Yun returned to the Sky Demon Talisman sect, he returned to his secret chamber to cultivate in seclusion. Outside his secret chamber, there's a formation that he set up. Even with our strength, we can't open it. Oh, he knows how to set up a formation? Yao Lin was shocked when he heard Yao Honghu's words. He was very surprised by Mo Qingyun's ability. Although he had often heard people say that Mo Qingyun possessed extraordinary talent in cultivation, he had never heard that Mo Qingyun knew how to set up a formation. Yes, Yao Honghu nodded when he saw Yao Lin's surprised expression. He said, according to the sect's supreme elder Zhou Xing, if there are no accidents, Qin Yun's attainments in formation might have reached the level of a quasi-immortal formation master. Quasi-immortal formation master. Yao Lin's expression trembled when he heard Yao Honghu's description. He was shocked by Mo Qingyun's formation Dao attainments. Chapter 1168. This kid is really unexpected. I didn't expect him to have such talent in Array Dao. After calming down, Yao Lin revealed a pleasantly surprised smile. His impression of Mo Qingyun had greatly improved. Not only that, but because he knew about Mo Qingyun's talent in Array Dao, he was no longer so angry about the provocations from the various sections. It seems that the heavens are really blessing our heavenly demon talisman sect to have such a disciple. Yao Lin's face revealed a gratified expression as he sighed with emotion. He then instructed Yao Honghu, since that's the case, the matter of the disciples of the various sects provoking the inner sect disciples, we don't have to pay attention to them for the time being. Everything can wait until Qin Yun comes out of seclusion. Yes. Hearing Yao Lin's instructions, Yao Honghu nodded and said, later, I will instruct the disciples in the sect to ignore the provocations from the various sects for the time being. Yao Lin nodded in agreement with Yao Honghu's plan and said, the people from the 9 great immortal gates want to use this matter to attack the morale of our heavenly demon talisman sect. When Qin Yin comes out of seclusion, he will definitely give them a surprise. Haha, that's right. Thinking about how Mo Qingyun would ruthlessly beat up the disciples of the 9 great immortal gates after coming out of seclusion, Yao Honghu revealed an expression of anticipation. He knew Mo Qingyun's character very well. That kid was not someone who would suffer losses. If the people from the 9 great immortal gates did not have eyes and accidentally provoked him, the outcome was basically foreseeable. Next, Yao Honghu and Yao Lin continued to discuss the matter of unsealing the sect. 2 months later in the 5-directional small pagoda. At this moment, the lotus flower that grew from the golden lotus of good fortune in Mo Qingyun's sea of consciousness was blooming bit by bit. After the lotus flower bloomed, a 9-colored lotus seed was born on the lotus seed pod, emitting an aura of life. Bang, bang, bang. Carefully observing the 9-colored lotus seed, one could see that it was beating rhythmically, as if it was breathing. Sensing the situation of the golden lotus of fate, Mo Qingyun's expression turned grave. He was puzzled and thought to himself, the situation in my sea of consciousness is getting stranger and stranger. I wonder what my soul will become if this continues. Now, the situation in Mo Qingyun's sea of consciousness had completely exceeded his understanding and was completely out of his control. Forget it. Let's not think about it anymore. At least for now, there's nothing wrong with my soul. Seeing that there was no point in overthinking it, Mo Qingyun simply ignored it. He laughed self-mockingly. Could it be that Mo Qingyun unintentionally opened up a new path of cultivation? Mo Qingyun laughed bitterly at himself. Chapter 1170. Origin Dragon Seal. When Hong Xiu attacked Mo Qingyun, a dragon-shaped talisman appeared in his hand, releasing a terrifying aura. After this dragon-shaped sigil was unleashed by Hong Xiu, it transformed into an essence-energy colossal dragon. It brandished its dragon claws and tore at Mo Qingyun. Seeing Hong Xiu's attack, the 8 great immortal sect's disciples were shocked, their eyes filled with awe and surprise. Origin Dragon Seal. Hong Xiu actually used the Origin Dragon Seal. Looks like he's really angry. Hong Xiu's Origin Dragon Seal. Even a late 9 seal cultivator might not be able to block it. That kid is in trouble. An unknown brat actually dares to provoke Hong Xiu. He's simply courting death. Seeing Hong Xiu attack Mo Qingyun, the 8 great immortal sect's disciples sneered, thinking that Mo Qingyun was dead meat. Oof. Seeing the giant elemental energy dragon attacking him, Mo Qingyun coldly snorted, raising his right hand with an indifferent expression, grabbing at the void in front of him. Following that, a terrifying wave of elemental energy gathered in midair, forming a giant blue palm. After the blue palm formed, it emitted a terrifying force of the law of water, grabbing at the giant elemental energy dragon. Bang! The blue palm collided with the giant elemental energy dragon, producing a loud sound and a terrifying wave of elemental energy. As the wave of elemental energy swept out, the giant blue palm slowly tightened, firmly capturing the giant elemental energy dragon. Crack, crack, crack. Under the giant blue palm's capture, the giant elemental energy dragon's body changed little by little, producing a crisp sound. This feeling was like a newspaper being crushed into a ball by brute force. Bang! Under the giant blue palm's tyrannical crushing, the giant elemental energy dragon finally exploded, turning into pure elemental energy, dissipating into the air. Seeing this scene, the 8 great immortal sect's disciples were dumbfounded, intimidated by Mo Qingyun's strength. Under Mo Qingyun's tyrannical attack, even the Origin Dragon Talisman, which was strong enough to threaten a late 9 Seal Realm Master, was unable to put up any resistance. This result was far beyond their expectations. Where did this brat come from? His strength is so terrifying. He kept saying that we were looking for him. Could he be the #1 genius of the Sky Devil Talisman sect? Mo Qingyun. That's impossible, right? Mo Qingyun only joined the Heavenly Devil Talisman sect 10 years ago. How did he become so powerful in a short 10 years? If he really is Mo Qingyun, then his cultivation speed is too fast. At this moment, Mo Qingyun became a terrifying figure in the hearts of the disciples of the 8 immortal sects. Senior brother Mo is mighty. Junior brother Mo cripple them all. In his impression, although a talisman master's attacks were nimble, their speed was not especially fast due to their physical attributes. And Mo Qingyun's speed just now was something that even some warriors could not compare to. This was too abnormal. Mo Qingyun's current performance had completely broken this convention and exceeded his previous knowledge. After a short moment of shock, Jin Yongsei's expression suddenly changed. He thought of a very important point and said in shock, "You are a dual cultivator? So you are not stupid." Seeing that Jin Yongsei had guessed that he was a dual cultivator, Mo Qingyun smiled indifferently and did not deny this fact. After admitting that he was a dual cultivator, Mo Qingyun's palm landed on Jin Yongsei's head and lifted him up like he was pulling a carrot. Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the people of the Golden Glyph sect were shocked. They shouted at Mo Qingyun, "Mo Qingyun, let go of senior brother Jin Yongsei, or else the Golden Glyph sect will not forgive you. Are you threatening me?" Hearing the words of the people of the Golden Glyph sect, Mo Qingyun curled his lips in disdain, and his expression became even colder. Then, a shocking soul power exploded from Mo Qingyun's palm and blasted into Jin Yongsei's mind domineeringly. Under the attack of Mo Qingyun's soul power, Jin Yongsei's mind was instantly destroyed, and his cultivation was destroyed in an instant. Then, Jin Yongsei's eyes became dull, and his body became as weak as a pile of mud. He was casually thrown to the ground by Mo Qingyun. "Mo Qingyun, you have gone too far." Seeing Mo Qingyun's actions, the disciples of the Golden Glyph sect were enraged. They shouted angrily and attacked Mo Qingyun. In an instant, the disciples of the Golden Glyph sect took out all kinds of talismans and attacked Mo Qingyun with extreme speed. Seeing the crazy actions of the people of the Golden Glyph sect, the disciples of the Sky Demon Glyph sect, and the disciples of the other 7 immortal sects were all in awe. Seeing the power of the joint attack of the disciples of the Golden Glyph sect, except for the experts of the Sky Realm, no one could block it. "Senior brother Mo, be careful. Don't fight them head on. Golden Glyph sect, you shameless guys. How dare you fight with so many people? Don't just stand there. Let's help senior brother Mo together." Seeing the actions of the disciples of the Golden Glyph sect, the disciples of the Sky Demon Glyph sect were anxious. They wanted to help Mo Qingyun. This is a battle between Mo Qingyun and the Golden Glyph sect. Don't interfere. Seeing the actions of the disciples of the Sky Demon Glyph sect, the people of the other 7 immortal sects sneered and stopped the disciples of the Sky Demon Glyph sect. "Don't worry, I can still handle it." Seeing the actions of the disciples of the Sky Demon Glyph sect, Mo Qingyun said to them with a solemn expression,